the God who walked upon the sea. Yeah. You're the God who calmed the raging sea. Yeah. You're the God who made the blind eye see. Hey, you walked upon the sea. You walked upon the sea. This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation.
Twenty-four minutes past the hour of 6. Bethel Revival Choir. But who is this that even the winds and the waves obey him? His divinity is without question. He not only walked on water, he also calmed the storm. And that's how we choose to start today's edition of the Citi Breakfast Show. You need to know what your God is able to do. Even the winds and the waves have ears to listen to the sound of his voice. And we confidently trust and affirm in his deity and supremacy. This is a faithful saying, for if we died with him, we shall also live with him. If we endure, we will also reign with him. If we deny him, he will deny us. If we are faithless, he remains faithful, for he cannot deny himself. Which is why when they asked him, are you the Son of God? He says, you said it. He can't deny what he knows himself to be. So let's learn faithfulness from the faithful God. Let's not be faithless.
Yes, he can.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show. It's the 10th day of February, and we're live from Adabraka in Accra. Thank you so much for staying with us. And we have so many things to do on the show. It's almost like a menu with different parts and portions. Starting off with an inspirational word, spiced up by music. Then we go into the headlines from the news world. That's all the way from now till 7. Then we specialize in two aspects: business news at 7, sports news 7:15. From 7:30 we bring you different discussions. The Heritage Month is coming up shortly because we are 28 days in February, so 18 days more. We'll be launching a big one on the show today. And then we have a very, very important conversation. So it's a month and a few days into the John Mahama's second term, or the second chapter of the presidency of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Today we're speaking around what the first 33 or 4 days say to us about what to expect for the next 3.5 years, or even 4 years. What have we learned so far from his appointments, from his speeches, from the policies, and from the priorities? I guess David Ofosudot is joining us at 8:15. But it's also a show that involves your voice, so send us your thoughts. 054 998 6996 is our WhatsApp number. We're also receiving voice notes this morning. I got a very desperate call from a listener very late in the night. He says, Bernard, it looks like the contractor on Sawam Road is the same contractor on the motorway. He has moved all his equipment from the Sawam side to the motorway side. So as the motorway people are rejoicing, we the Sawam guys are suffering because there's so much dust. We'll try and deal with some of those issues. live on social media. Our hashtag is CityCBS. We're on X at Citi973. We're starting off with the headlines. I'm not even sure whether to call it newspaper review, because when I started this job, it was a lot of newspapers and very few websites. But these days, the portals online, so many more than the newspapers. But the papers still remind us of how far we've come, and they also do some really great stories. So we blend the two in the newspaper review segment at 6:33, 6:34ish. And that segment is probably brought to us by Total Excellium. I'm sure you've heard about the incredible benefits of Excellium from Total Energies. A premium fuel with an amazing 3-in-1 power feature. It cleans your engine, extends its life, and lowers your fuel consumption. It has anti-corrosion, anti-wear, and detergent additives. The Excellium new formula lowers your vehicle's fuel consumption and reduces CO2 emissions. Experience the difference with Total Energies Excellium new formula. Choose Excellium, choose quality. If you're looking for a best of flavor in every sip, discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola, a perfect fit anytime. If you want a fruity adventure, insist on the Piva Orange Fruit Drink, packed with recognized citrus flavor. There's also the cocktail fruit drink, the Grip, and the Tangy, all available. Get in touch on 0550-032-231. Piva Beverages, a taste you will certainly love.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Gogomi. At what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. One pair way now open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
The gogo.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Looking for a burst of flavor in every sip? Discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. How about a fruity adventure? Try our delightful Piva Orange Fruit Drink, packed with recognized citrus flavor. Craving something exotic? Our Piva Cocktail Fruit Drink brings the tropics to you. For a sweet and juicy treat, grab our grapefruit drink and don't miss out on the refreshing Piva Tangerine Fruit Drink, bursting with tangerine flavor. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangy. Grab yours today. Available now at your local store. Call us on 055-00-322-31. Piva, a taste you love. This advert is FDA approved.
P for Piva.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
It's gonna be a ride.
6:33. So this was the message I got yesterday. Good morning, Bernard, and hope you are well. My brother, please interview the road minister about the Ofanko in Sawam Road. It is becoming too unbearable for us. Now, this is what the texter is alleging. The contractor responsible for this road is the same contractor working on the Temamoto Way Road. And he has moved everything to the Temamoto Way. He has moved everything. He didn't even leave anything for them. The condition for Temamoto Way is far better than Ofanko and Sawam Road. Please help us. The dust is killing us and the road is destroying our cars. Please remember us. And he mentioned his name. And I said, yes, sir.
As for the roads.
Now, this guy, he has a very interesting history with me. In July last year, he sent me a message. He said, good morning, Bernard. Midyear Junction to Kotoku is not a road, but more a jungle. We have a lot of manufacturing firms and even the audio market at Kotoku, but the road is terrible. Please help us. So every 3 months, he sends me something. He believes I lives in those areas. So I'm begging. I don't know the name of the contractor on this road. You are a contractor, man. What's the name of the contractor on the motorway?
Motorway.
Yes, motorway.
If it's the one on the Fanco stretch.
Is it Maripoma?
Yeah, I need to
confirm.
I need to confirm. But Bernard, the state of the road, the Brekusu road is now very treacherous.
No, you're talking about Brekusu.
Yes, I'm talking about Brekusu, Kwabenya Brekusu going to Ashesi.
Okay. So Kwabenya Brekusu to Kwabenya to Comet Estate.
Yes.
That one. Okay.
I went to Ashesi last night. No wonder the car is giving up on the road.
Your car gave you up on the road.
This car.
Okay. So let's take it one by one. If somebody has done his thing, we want to agamalize the thing. Today we are talking about Ofanko.
Yes.
Midyear in Sawam.
And I'm adding the Kwabenya Brekusu road to that thing.
You are filing a joint application.
Exactly. I am an amicus curiae.
All right, but what he says, which is funny, is that he says it looks like the guy, because the motorway is really progressing.
Yeah. But this other one, of course,
so the motorway, they are working. So we don't know, but you use the motorway.
Yeah, I use it. But I'm
even sometimes at night.
I'm wondering if. So is there full budget to complete the work?
Yes, so we are told that this one, the funding arrangement is sort of I think I do something. Nasir, come and explain. I'm not your PR, but they basically are saying that this one, the funding is guaranteed.
It's guaranteed.
It is guaranteed. It's ever but in Sawam, they ain't sure. No. But you see, in Sawam started and progressed well. So from Ofanko to Pokwasi, they've done a great job. So I really think that if what this gentleman is saying is true, the Minister of Roads should find a way of finding a way.
But you see, the sad part is that when the project delays like that, it deteriorates further. That's what's happening at Brekusu, because it's unwinding, undulating like that. So anywhere there is a hill,
why is
the
coming
gullies are too much.
I'm talking Brekusu.
The man road railing the thing.
What is this? You are out of order.
Order. Honorable member.
Order.
Let's get into the papers this morning. The Chronicle newspaper this morning is singing praises to Kwame Sefaka. It says Sefaka's incubator project saves lives. Pediatric Society of Ghana honors him.
Nice.
Mahama's appointment of Latte and Kenzo lauded. And Timber Industry hails Mahama's appointment of Brown as FC CEO. FC here is Forestry Commission.
Right. So the Herald this morning, Mahama directs Energy Minister to end ENI and Springfield's unitization dispute, and Samia Uku denies grabbing state-owned Nungwa livestock lands as a Greek Minister Eric Opoku swings into action. Stakeholders applaud new forestry CEO pick urged to tackle illegal logging and mining. Ex-Akufo-Addo appointees angry at colleagues refusing to hand over. General Kwenu's leadership must be studied in military institutions. This is Anido speaking. And Kofi Bento demands concrete steps against Galamsey. Martin Aisi remains in office. It adds.
The News Center, massive shakeup hits NIB. Close to 40 transfers, attachments, changes effected. Hajj legacy debt reduced from $7.8 million in 2016 to $4.8 million. This is attributed to Banda. I will stop at nothing in my daughter's custody battle. Baba Sam speaking. GPHA local union opposes protest against new DG. AFCFTA infrastructure fund targets 100 million Africans to pay $1 a day. Upon Nkrumah calls for independent labor statistics office. And there's a clarion call to save actor Mauli Semevo after severe fire burns.
God, he was asleep when the building got burnt. Sad story. Then now BNFT this morning, GSIA push for capital market reforms. Petroleum revenue drops by 62.63% in H2 2024. GTYA opposes proposal to fund MPs' pensions with carbon credit revenues. Old Mutual taps Roy Punungwe as new GCEO to drive growth and innovation. Solomon Chumberima is SIC Life new MD.
Okay, the custodian Ablakwa opens the Pandora's box, invites probe into his Airport Hills residence. We inherited $7.8 million debt in 2017. Minority rejects Bias Bejra Committee. Set up office for labor statistics upon Nkrumah to labor minister. Ex-boss MD defends gold for oil program. And I'll fight for my precious daughter. This is Karen Baba Sam speaking.
Right. So Daily Graphic this morning. Don't travel first class. President Mahama instructs appointees. AG terminates 3 more criminal cases. 2025 National Chocolate Week launched. And massive gold cash bust. National security seizes millions. Suspects flee. And then timber industry laws right choice for Forestry Commission CEO. If you go to the back page, we are told many people are living with glaucoma unaware of their condition. There's an alarm here. And Noguchi commissions equipment to boost cell research.
Looks like the timber industry people are on all the front pages.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Africa targets $1 a day fund to quicken AFCFTA integration. That's the front page of the Ghanaian publisher. NDC left $7.8 million Hajj debt. Former Hajj board chair fires back. And then there's the Baba Sam story also here.
All right, let me take you online, citynewsroom.com. We're working hard to address economic challenges. This is Mahama speaking at the Chinese Lantern Festival. There's a nice photo of all of them with their red scarves. Meanwhile, a couple of stories here. Ablekuma North, a rabbi now being vows to defend election victory. NDC youth organizer tells party supporters, defend yourselves. Now, in other stories, GFA cannot operate in isolation. Kofi Adams warns. This is on Ghana Sports. Simon Maji replaces Bernice McCaffrey Brempong as new CEO of GIPC. National Security intercepts 12 containers of fake US dollars and suspected gold bars. And then some rather harrowing stories of death. 2 children and a woman murdered by unidentified gunmen in Boku. And then nurse and 3 children die in devastating fire in Ashanti region. All kinds of things happening in the country. If you go to Channel 1 News, Ghana Water Company calls for calm over water shortages in parts of the country. And then massive bust, fake US dollar bar, gold bar, fake US dollars and gold bars seized in warehouse raid by the National Security. Residents call for completion of the La Genoa Hospital. And then former president for Akufo-Addo mourns the passing of Namibia's Sam Nujoma. You know, the liberation leader of Namibia. You visited Namibia.
Yeah, there's a huge statue in his honor.
Yeah, he died aged 95. Wow. Oral will succeed. Let's remain focused on resetting Ghana at Blakwa. And then use your authority to help me fight Galamsey. Eastern Regional Minister to House of Chiefs. I'm taking you to a few more websites. My Joy Online. Mahama vows swift action to address people's dangerous river crossing to access education. Also, he calls for stronger economic ties with China. We're told Ghana Water Company restores water supply to Ho and its environs.
Nice.
And then in terms of health, 60 cases of CSM, 29 cases of cholera reported in Ofutu. So CSM is in Upper West, cholera is in Winneba. If I take you international, it's a very interesting story by the BBC. 17 things Donald Trump did this week.
My God.
The guy did for him. He's taking over Gaza. He's cutting USAID, imposing tariffs on China. Charlie, all kinds of things. Even establish an office for protecting of religious. Charlie, the guy is too much. Let's get into the details, gentlemen. Where are you starting from?
Brother, let me start with the gold bust.
Yes, please.
Massive gold cash bust. National security seizes millions. Suspects flee. Kester Abraham Crunch is writing for Daily Graphic that the national security has made a massive bust, seizing a large unspecified amount of US dollars and Ghana cedis, including counterfeits, hidden in 12 different 20-foot shipping containers. Now, the sting operation also discovered and led to the seizure of boxes of heavy metals suspected to be gold bars. Now, the containers were tracked to a warehouse at Ofako in the South municipality, where a special late-night operation was conducted after a tip of the concealed currency, mostly bundles of US dollars, was found in wooden boxes covered with cement. Now, we are told extra currencies were discovered when the other boxes were opened in the warehouse during the sting operation. All of them suspected to be fake and stashed in the boxes that were sealed with plywood and covered with charcoal. We are told that national security operatives still have disclosed that 2 more containers are being tracked. So all eyes on this particular one as it unfolds.
All right, from the National Security, let me take you to the National Investigations Bureau, NIB. The news center is reporting that there is a massive shake-up there. Story by Elvis Dakon. The National Investigations Bureau, NIB, has executed a large-scale reshuffling of its top personnel, affecting close to 40 officers, including senior staff across various ranks and departments. This massive reorganization includes transfers, attachments, and changes in postings, aiming to enhance operational efficiency and strengthen the agency's intelligence gathering capabilities. The movement affected close to 40 officers, including 19 senior staff officers, 7 field or desk officers, 3 staff officers, 2 deputy staff officers, 3 principal staff officers, 1 deputy staff officer, and 1 assistant staff officer.
Right. Now, the AG has terminated 3 more criminal cases. Emmanuel Ebo-Hoxton is writing for Graphic, and the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayine, has terminated 3 more criminal cases initiated by the previous administration. Notable persons who are on trial and can now heave a sigh of relief as a result of the AG's action include a former Director General of the Social Security and National Insurance Trust Net, Dr. Ernest Thompson, who was accused together with 3 others for causing financial loss of more than $15.3 million in the SNIT Operational Business Suites OBS project. Other beneficiaries of the AG's action are former Minister of Water Resources, Works and Housing, Collins Dauda, and his successor, Dr. Kweku Ajiman Mensah, who were on trial over allegations of causing financial loss on account of the Saglemi housing project. The rest are 53 persons, including a prominent social activist, Oliver Bakavomao, and social media influencer, Elom Ama Governor Ababio, also known as Ama Governor.
Well, the Hajj Committee last week announced a debt, and then the former board chair has responded. It says Hajj legacy debt reduced from $7.8 million in 2016 to $4.8 million. Story says the immediate past Hajj board has disclosed that it successfully reduced the legacy debt inherited from its predecessor by over $2.9 million US. The board explained that it brought down the debt from $7.8 million to approximately $4.8 million before handing over to the new administration. Addressing concerns regarding the financial burden passed on to the current Hajj board, former Hajj board chairman Alhaji Ben Abdallah Banda clarified that the debt originated from the 2016 Hajj operations under the National Democratic Congress administration. He stated that at the start of former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's tenure in 2017, the board inherited an outstanding amount of $7.8 million from previous Hajj managers.
Let me take you to some quick stories on health. So in Upper West region, CSM cases increased from 42 to 60 with 14 dead. This is Citi Newsroom reporting that cerebrospinal meningitis cases are rising in the Upper West region, with the infections increasing from 42 to 60, with fatalities reaching 14. Health officials are alarmed, citing, now this is quite troubling, citing misdiagnosis, delayed treatment, and high medical costs as major contribution to the growing death toll. In response, authorities are ramping up efforts to contain the outbreak, emphasizing early medical intervention and considering free treatment to affected patients. So that's story number 1 on health. Story number 2 is from Winneba, where we're told that A number of people have died from or have been affected by cholera. So apart from CSM in the northern Upper West region, we're told that there's also a cholera outbreak in Winneba, and a number of people have been affected. So I think the entry of the new Minister of Health is very full. And so Kwabena Minta Kando, please deal with the story. 29 confirmed cases of cholera. Calvi Center reports that the Futu Municipal Hospital says almost 30 people have tested positive for cholera out of the 356 cases recorded. One person has been confirmed dead, while contact tracing has begun according to the hospital. The facility says the 29 confirmed cases came from the same family located within the particular area in the Futu. The hospital says contact tracing has begun to ensure the disease does not spread to others. Now, why am I raising this? In this day and age, people are still doing open defecation in Ghana. You know, we have to declare open defecation free Ghana by end of the term of John Mahama. Seriously. In the modern society, people should not be opening defecating. So let's deal with that as we try and deal with cholera. Let's come to you, Caleb.
Bernard, so there's one headline of interest. I'll just give you the headline and move to others. Atamil's Institute changes name to Mindset, Integrity, Loyalty, Leadership and Service Institute. Okay. Now the other.
Why are you even doing this?
Okay, so Herald has an editorial. It's a big question. Why is the passport online application portal always down?
Read 2 paragraphs there for me.
So the purpose for the introduction of digitalization in the public life is to make things simple and hassle-free. But unfortunately, in our part of the world, it rather becomes a pain that people would have to deal with. When it was announced that the passport application will no longer be done manually but was going online, many people thought that days when one had to go to the post office, buy a form, fill and go to the passport office to submit, get a date and go back again to complete the process was over. As the process would now be smooth and less cumbersome. But editorial from Graphic is Herald is indicating that the online portal is always down. Something must be done.
Well, the government has suspended the implementation of the National Road Authority Act. The government has suspended the implementation of the National Roads Authority Act of 2024, Act 118, to allow for further stakeholder engagement. The act, which was enacted in July 2024, was to, among other things, streamline the management of the country's road infrastructure by merging the existing road institutions. These are the Ghana Highway Authority, the Department of Urban Roads, and the Department of Feeder Roads into a unified structure for better management and coordination. However, a statement signed and issued by Nasir Ahmed Yati, the head of public relations at the Ministry of Roads and Highways, said the implementation of the act has been put on hold, awaiting further stakeholder engagement.
There's a lot of water issues. Letitia says, reporting on Channel 1 News, that Ghana Water Company is calling for calm over water shortages in parts of Ghana. So it says the GWL has urged residents facing water shortages to remain patient as the company intensifies efforts to resolve the challenges. Now, they mentioned Tamale, there's Bimbila, there's Kasua and Ho, have all been grappling with persistent water crisis for weeks, severely impacting daily life. Then they give an overview. So, for example, in Ho, the situation has placed immense strain on critical institutions, including hospitals and prisons, forcing them to seek alternative water sources. Now, yesterday, I watched CNR where Stanley Mati was explaining that I think they are done with the repair of the headworks at Peve. So, people in Ho should expect water soon. Then, when you talk about Bimbila, there was a report by Aminu Alabira that students in Bimbila Secondary School have to travel miles to just get water. It's affecting studies. We already brought you a report last week from Tamale, about 4 communities in Tamale not having water. Multiple places in Kaso as well. So the Ghana Water Company says, we still continue to apologize for the inconvenience that we have caused. But just as we promised, we are working around the clock to ensure that water flows. So give us up to the end of the week and the situation will improve. Now, the reason I bring this story is that there's also some Galamsey related stories.
Yes, there is.
Which I think is related, even though people don't see the link. So, for example, residents of Amachi Bari halt illegal mining, pledge to protect farmlands. Now, this is in the Trema Nwabieja north of Ashanti, declaring their firm opposition to illegal mining, vowing to resist any future activities after successfully halting a recent attempt through a strong community protest. Illegal mining has caused widespread destruction of farmlands and poses a serious threat to the community's water sources, which are essential for both domestic and farm use. Amachi Bari, a small farming community, depends heavily on agriculture and informal jobs for survival. Months ago, farmers and residents united to protest the invasion of illegal miners who had already destroyed large tracts of farmland, While some farmers had been coerced into selling their lands, the community eventually took action by clashing with the miners and setting the equipment ablaze after repeated calls for intervention from authorities failed. And I want to say, we are not advocating violence, but this is a very good thing where communities say we don't want mining here.
Stand up against it.
The Eastern Regional Minister is begging chiefs in her region
To help her fight the illegal mining.
because it's also affecting water bodies. So the newly appointed regional minister Rita Akosua-Awate has appealed to the Eastern Regional House of Chiefs to use the authority to help her curb illegal mining, which continues to wreak havoc on arable farmlands and the environment. And this was during her first official engagement in Chebi on the occasion of the meeting of the Eastern Regional House of Chiefs. And she says, you will agree with me that we cannot talk about sustainable growth without addressing the urgent issue of illegal mining or galamsey, which continues to damage our environment, pollute our water bodies, and jeopardize the future of our region. So I think the clarion call is clear. If we have to save our water, we all have to get involved.
Absolutely. Now, Kofi Bentil is weighing in on the illegal mining menace. He's demanding concrete steps against galamsey. He was speaking on Newsfile where he said, gold is a spirit, and from time immemorial, it makes men mad. If you know the stories of the Wild West, people killed and died for gold. So when you see people risking their lives to go after this, and we think that we can just treat it as a simple law enforcement issue, that's where the problem is. His comments come in response to President Mahama's renewed public commitment to eradicating illegal mining, a promise the president reiterated earlier this week. Now, his point is that he is cautioning the president against underestimating the fight against illegal small-scale mining, stressing the need for more concrete actions. Now, Bernard, earlier, the Ashanti Regional Minister gave a 2-week ultimatum to illegal miners operating in forest reserves and waterways, warning them to vacate or face the full rigors of the law. Now, former Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Inusaf Husseini, has expressed disappointment in this particular directive. Now, he says anyone in the forest reserve mining should vacate those places. This is the regional minister. Now, reacting to the ultimatum, Mr. Husseini argued that illegal miners should not be given time to fold up. He explained that giving illegal miners time to vacate the site only exposes weaknesses in the enforcement efforts. But Emmanuel Kofi-Boa is also captured here. He's announced that his ministry will provide monthly updates on the progress in the fight against illegal mining. And Inusaf Husseini has been commending the EPA on its efforts already. So talking about the updates though, Bernard, the Greater Accra Regional Minister said in 50 days, 70% of the street lights in Accra would have been fixed.
When does the 50 start?
She didn't tell us, but per my count, we have 45 days to go. The transition road from the Bosher stretch is very dark. If you're doing the Ayi Mensa coming down to Accra Medina, it's also very dark.
So 45
a lot of
days
places
more.
are dark. So
there's a very interesting story that we got over the weekend. Simon Maji replaces Bernice McCaffrey-Brempong as new CEO of GIPC. Now, I'm not sure.
Bernice was Mahama appointee, right?
I'm not sure. I don't know what happened. So we are told now that Simon Maji, who used to be the executive secretary of the American Chamber of Commerce, has now been appointed the CEO of GIPC, succeeding Dr. Bernice McCaffrey-Brempong, who held the position for less than 2 weeks. Now, Dr. Brempong was reassigned to the presidency, and this reassignment has been shrouded in mystery with no official explanation provided by the government. However, insider sources say she's been reassigned to a strategic role at the Jubilee House. Now, I don't know how she was appointed in the first place, but there's Simon Maji. If you go to the GIPC website, he is the CEO of GIPC now. Now, Sam Nujoma, former Namibian president, has died at 95. An African liberator. We should all pause and reflect on his legacy. The first president of independent Namibia, which used to be called Southwest Africa, has died at the age of 95 in the capital. You call it Windhoek.
Windhoek,
even though it's spelled Windhoek.
Yes, they have a lot of German influence, so their W's are V's.
Now, the country's current president has announced. Now, Nujoma led the long fight for independence from South Africa. So they were colonized by South Africa in 1990 after helping found Namibia's liberation movement known as Southwest People's Organization, SWAPO, in the 1960s. He was president from 1990 till 2005. He had been hospitalized over the past 3 weeks. A few people are remembering him. Former President Akufo-Addo has paid glowing tribute to Sam Nujoma. And whilst we are at it, Trump has done 17 things, including, and I don't think this is getting really serious, including deciding that they will withhold aid to South Africa over some very spurious claims by some white supremacist group in South Africa. It seems as if for him, once you get to him first and tell him that Caleb is a bad person,
right.
You say, Caleb, I'll sanction you. Even before they collect the tax, he sanction.
As if you charge me charge.
In fact, one of the things they did was that they imposed tariffs, but the department collecting tariffs didn't know how to even collect the tariffs, so they had to suspend the tariffs. So he will just charge.
Don't do that.
He has imposed some tariffs on aluminium and steel.
Yeah,
and
from Canada.
The trick is that Canada is the one that will suffer.
He has sent first plane of deportees to Guantanamo. He has ordered strikes against Islamic State in Somalia. He has imposed tariffs on China and pulled back. And then he has also decided that he will take over Gaza. We need to pray for the world. Thank you, gentlemen, for the headlines. Coming up next is the City Business News.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
It's a minute to 7. City Business News brought to us by MTN. Let's talk about the latest from MTN. It's called the Free After One. It's an upgraded experience called the Free After One Extra. You can talk for 1 whole hour uninterrupted while paying for only the first 10 minutes of every 10 minutes you talk. Which means for every 10 minutes you talk within the hour, you only pay for the first minute. And you get to talk for 60 minutes straight with no interruptions. Subscribe to MTN Free After One Extra today by dialing *550# and follow the prompts. Now, here's an announcement from EcoBank. This festive season, fraud activities are on the rise as scammers continue to target customers of various banks through phone calls, text messages, emails to get customers to divulge sensitive information such as passwords, PIN, and card information. Please be extra vigilant and never trust any phone call. Now, bank account details can only be updated at an EcoBank branch. And the EcoBank mobile app can only be upgraded at an app store or the Play Store. Don't share your password, PIN, OTP, or card information or other personal details with anyone, either remotely or face-to-face. If you are in doubt, call 0800 003 225 toll-free. So Natufo is staying with us to bring us the business news this morning. So what are the headlines, Nana?
Coming up, International Monetary Fund to begin crucial talks with government as the country prepares its 2025 budget. Also coming up, interest rates on treasury bills decline as government returns 2.9 billion Ghana cedis to investors. Let's bring you details of our stories on the breakfast edition of the City Business News, which is proudly brought to you by MTN, GOIL, and EcoBank. In our first story, the International Monetary Fund (IMF) team is set to begin crucial talks with the government this week as Ghana prepares its 2025 budget, which is expected to be presented in March. The discussions come amid government plans to scrap key revenue measures, including the betting tax, e-levy, and the COVID-19 levy. With Ghana under an IMF support program, the fund will be seeking assurances that these policy changes will not derail the country's economy. Let's bring you some other stories where interest rates on treasury bills have declined after the government refunded nearly 3 billion Ghana cedis following an oversubscription of its latest auction by 392 million Ghana cedis. The government initially sought to raise 7.3 billion Ghana cedis but received bids totaling 10.5 billion cedis. Instead of taking the entire amount, it opted to accept only an extra 392.7 million Ghana cedis, reimbursing 2.9 billion Ghana cedis to investors. Here's more.
Some market analysts, they believe this move demonstrates the government's firm grip on the financial market, which is currently awash with liquidity, seeking investment avenues. By rejecting the surplus funds, the government has signaled a cautious and disciplined approach to economic management, a move that could bolster investor confidence. Following this decision, Treasury bill rates have declined. The 91-day bill rate fell from 28.41% to 27.98%, while the 182-day bill rate dropped from 28.89% to 28.68%. Investors offered 6.1 billion Ghana cedis for the 91-day bill, but the government accepted 3.9 billion Ghana cedis. For the 182-day bill, bids totaling 4.4 billion cedis were presented, but the government took only 3.7 billion Ghana cedis. Of the total funds accepted, 49.3% went into the 182-day bills, while 50.7% was allocated to the 91-day bills. No auction was held for the one-year notes during this period.
Emmanuel Opon filed that report. Now, President John Dramani Mahama faces an urgent task of appointing new deputy governors for the Bank of Ghana following the decision of LC Ado Awaji, the current second deputy governor, to proceed on leave starting February 28 ahead of her contract's end. This comes just days after First Deputy Governor Dr. Maxwell Opoku-Afari also proceeded on leave, leaving the central bank with only its newly appointed governor, Dr. Johnson Esiama. The opposition in Parliament has raised concerns that Dr. Esiama lacks the authority to approve key financial transactions and policy decisions, including the release of funds from the Bank of Ghana. However, the government and some market observers have dismissed these claims. The appointments will be crucial in maintaining stability at the central bank amid ongoing economic recovery. Still on appointments, Simon Maji has been appointed as the new Chief Executive Officer CEO of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center GIPC, succeeding Dr. Benes Makafui Brimpong, who held the position for just 2 weeks. It remains unclear the reason for Dr. Brimpong's reassignment, as no official explanation has been provided by the government. However, Citi Business News understands that she has been reassigned to a strategic role at the Jubilee House, the seat of government. With over a decade of experience in investment promotion, trade facilitation and business advocacy, the business community will be watching how he will address investment backlogs, regulatory bottlenecks, and investor confidence concerns. Let's move on to some other stories. And the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, is calling on the government through the new Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry to secure significant local raw materials for industrialists as key strategy to reduce the growing reliance on imported raw materials for production. The association believes this approach will help mitigate the rapid depreciation of the cedi, which is driven by the need to convert more local currency into foreign currencies to import raw materials. In an interview with Citi Business News, the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the association, Chonam Akpelo, urged the government to ease the financial burden on industrialists.
We really want to be able to establish the link between agriculture and industry in a more structured way. And I believe that this new creation will allow us to do that. That notwithstanding, if we are able to produce a lot of the raw materials we need locally, then we would help actually restore the integrity of our currency, because about 70% of all the raw materials we use in our manufacturing setup are imported, really. And so our hope is that the new administration will take steps to help us minimize the importation of those raw materials by ensuring that they create local alternatives that work.
You heard the Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Association of Ghana Industries, Chonam Akpelo. Now, the Ghana Soybeans Farmers and Aggregators Association has reiterated its call on the government for the repeal of the export and import restriction of Grains Regulation 2022 LI 2467, which bans the export of soya beans. According to the association, the law, which was initially implemented to ensure local processing factories had access to soybeans, has failed to achieve its intended purpose. There's more in the following report by Citi Business News' Daniel Sakite.
Despite years of restriction, the Ghana Soybean Farmers and Aggregators Association contend that local processors remain unable to purchase the commodity from farmers and aggregators, rendering the regulation ineffective and detrimental to industry stakeholders. Industry players argue that lifting the export ban would open the soybean market, attract more investors, and incentivize farmers to increase production. Abdul Hakim Issa is Director of Administration of the association, and he has been speaking with Citi Business News, urging the Minister for Food and Agriculture to take steps to repeal the law.
We want them to lift the ban and allow the export of the commodity, especially soybean. Currently, there are a lot of soybean in the system, but all the buyers have diverted to the other countries. They are in Togo, they are in Benin, they are in Nigeria. They are finding it difficult to come to Ghana just because the announcement government is placing ban on export of soybean. The exporters are not coming. Farmers have the soybean, and yet there is no market. So it's a constraint to the farmer. Government is not benefiting. We the farmers are not also benefiting, and we don't understand what the government, the previous government was so much interested in placing the ban.
Beyond the soybean export ban, the group is also calling on the government to rethink its approach to fertilizer financing programs. They argue that providing free fertilizers to farmers is not a sustainable solution and have urged authorities to abandon the initiative.
If government cannot police the fertilizer subsidy, then they should leave it. But if they can monitor the fertilizer subsidy in such a way that the reduced prices will actually go to we, the real farmers, then we are all for it. But in a more sustainable way, we are saying that instead of government bringing in fertilizer and to be able to pay some money to the dealers to reduce the price, why don't the government reduce all taxes and all levies on fertilizer so that the commodity becomes cheaper?
Director of Administration of the Ghana Soybean Farmers and Aggregators Association, Abdul Hakim Issa, ending that report by Citi Business News' Daniel Sakite. Before we go, let's have a quick market check on the currency board across some forex bureaus. The dollar could be sold to you at 16 Ghana cedis. The British pound could also be sold to you at 19 cedis 40 pesos, while the euro is selling at 16 cedis 60 pesos. Remember that these are the rates being offered by the forex bureaus to the public. Well, that's all for the breakfast edition of the Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil, and EcoBank. I am Nana Tufo Boateng. Many thanks for your company. Do have a great business day.
Every day, people have money emergencies. Ma, I need my school fees. Mommy chop money. Cratchet, mommy my rent. Emergency. Now, there's a new emergency number in town.
More money, challenge and enjoyment. At the top life we got.
Dial star 770 hash for money emergencies and chop life.
For emergency access to your bank accounts, transfers, utility payments, loans, and more. Dial star 770 hash. Bank on the go even without data with EcoBank's short code for digital banking. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hey, so as for you, every day you are just pressing your phone. Why? Are they paying you?
They are, Oma. The more I use my MTN, the more points I get. And I can use those points to get airtime, data, and even discounts at shops and restaurants.
Hey, so that is why all of you are always pressing your phones. And you won't tell us, so that we too we can enjoy some.
Oh, ma.
There's always more to enjoy with MTN Rewards. Just keep talking, testing, and browsing all day, every day to collect your points and use it to redeem amazing offers and discounted freebies right away. There's so much available for you. So dial star 550 hash and get your reward today. Let's go everywhere you go.
Kweku, have you heard what they are doing on MTN?
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi 97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi 973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi 973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
As you can see, Charlie, as today breathe, Charlie, they having me, Charlie. They won't take me 6 feet, Charlie. Jehovah sees, Charlie. Jehovah oversees, Charlie. So when I go down on my knees, I pray for the things I don't like. I pray for the things I don't like. I pray for all the family vibes. I pray for all the ones with they like me. I pray for my boys and my guys. I pray for the girls with the nice. I pray for that guardian rights. I pray so we gon' make come in life. I pray, I pray, I pray.
It's a beautiful sound. Dope Nation, they call it I Pray. We're praying our way into kickoff. Gabby Affair is here. Oh, he was one of the men who stood strong. Eventually he collapsed though. Eno is the last woman standing. But Judanka, Charlie, did you get some special aid for him or something? First aid or something? The guy just collapsed.
You say me. No, Garrett, Bill. You have to take that title from me.
No, kickoff is brought to you by Shell and Zonda Ghana Limited. From planning date nights to making your kids happy with the latest toy and ice cream, these seemingly little things make all the difference in creating lasting memories. Good times start at Shell, where you can fill up on more than just fuel. You can fill up on love, laughter, and sumptuous bites and treats from our partner vendors. Juicy chicken, filling burgers, snacks, a space to just unwind. Trust me, you will find it all at Shell while you're enjoying yourself with your family and friends. Your car can also get the love it deserves at the Shell service station and wash bay. It's one roof for everything. Visit Shell today. Shell, go well. I guess in the stories for kickoff this morning, top of it is the fitness of Eno and how Julius couldn't make it. I mean, top of the let listeners know what we are talking about. For those who don't know, we have a TV breakfast show on TV. Yeah, weekend daily. Yes, hosted by Eno Safo and Judanka, and you join them. Your big head. And there's another man who joined them with big muscle. So what were you people doing?
We were working out.
You were working out? Yeah. And it didn't work out for you. It didn't work out for you. Let's kick off, man.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Well, a night of red and black in Kumasi at the Barbara Sports Stadium, a vigil night for the late Francis Yao Frimpong. We'll get some more reactions a bit later. Also coming up.
Going to make one here for Liverpool. He saved from Kylian Mbappe earlier this season, saved 3 of the 4 kicks he's faced this year. Huge moment now for Plymouth Argyle. And in from Ryan Harding. It could be one of the greatest moments in the modern history of the FA Cup if they can hold on to it, because Plymouth Argyle, bottom of the championship, lead currently the top team in Europe, Liverpool, by 1-0.
Alright, and so it was one of the greatest moments for the championship side. Liverpool's quest for a quadruple came to a crashing halt on Sunday as they were dumped out of the FA Cup with a 1-0 defeat by championship strugglers Plymouth Argyle. There's more from the FA Cup, plus we touch on some tennis. Many thanks to Shell V Power and Zonda GH. I am Gabi Affair. All right, starting off with this, President John Dramani Mahama has urged newly appointed Sports Minister Kofi Adams to prioritize the development of all sporting disciplines. Now, speaking at the swearing-in of ministers at the Jubilee House, President Mahama emphasized the importance of rejuvenating Ghanaian sport, starting from the premises of the Ghana Football Association.
Honorable Kofi Idi Adams, Minister for Sports and Recreation, I don't envy your job. You have the monumental task of restoring Ghana to its pride of place in African and world sports. The shambles that is Ghana sports today is completely unacceptable for a country with our pedigree, and I expect that you inject transparency, professionalism, and modernity into the management of the sector. I expect that you concentrate on building up all the sports disciplines, and I know the Ghana Football Association would be a good place to start, to work to make sure that we return Black Stars to its glory days.
All right, so that's President John Dramani Mahama speaking right there. Well, speaking of the GF and the Black Stars do have 2 games coming up next month against Chad and Madagascar in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Now, Black Stars assistant coach Desmond Affair, he's been speaking, and he says he's confident that Ghana will secure qualification to the Mundial set to take place in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Well, his optimism comes despite the team's recent failure to qualify for the 2025 AFCON in Morocco, marking the first time in 20 years that Ghana has missed out on the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, being part of the technical team of the A national team is a privilege. Very honored to be given the opportunity. I think my role is to make sure that I assist the head coach as best as I can. Being part of the technical team is going to be an experience for me personally. I feel like the setup looks really, really strong with a very experienced technical advisor in the name of Schaefer. So, Winfried Schaefer. So, and I feel like the chemistry is going to be there. We have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do, but I think we're in a good position to qualify the team to the World Cup, and everybody's hungry. Everybody's really hungry, and we have a new, head of video analysis. We have a psychologist or sports mental coach, as you want to call it. So I feel like everybody's hungry to make sure that we qualify to the World Cup.
All right, so the target is to qualify to the 2026 World Cup. That's Black Stars assistant coach Desmond Affair speaking there. We head to Kumasi, and hundreds of Asante Kotoko fans gathered last night at the Babara Sports Stadium for a vigil in honor of the late Nana Francis Yafrimpong, popularly known as Pole, a devoted supporter of the club. Now, the event took place exactly a week after Nana Frimpong's tragic death following a stabbing incident at the Nanakron Mansa Park in Nswatwe, following that fixture between Nswatwe FC and Kumasi Asante Kotoko. But yes, the communications director for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Safu Duku, demanding for justice for the deceased.
We hammered on the fact that all of us are also interested in ensuring that justice is served, and is served swiftly. They say justice delayed is justice denied. I can tell you that the Ghana Police Service especially has so far demonstrated that they've attached so much seriousness into this matter, looking at the swift manner with which some 7 or 6 persons have been arrested, and the assurance that they will keep on chasing whoever is involved. I think you should all have trust and hope in the Ghana Police Service to deliver based on what we have seen so far. And so, to us as management, we also share the sentiment of our numerous supporters and the general public that we want justice for our departed brother.
All right, so that's the communications director for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Safu Duku, speaking there. The Ghana Football Association has condemned the incident and pledged to collaborate with the police to ensure the perpetrators are brought will face justice. Meanwhile, Kotoko has also suspended all football activities until justice is served. Now, let's do some athletics and some positive news coming out from some Ghanaian athletes. High jumper Rosie Boa once again raised the bar after setting a new indoor national record of 1.92 meters at the New Mexico Collegiate Classic 2025. Well, sprinter also Anita Frifa also in a record-breaking form delivered a sensational 23.26 seconds in the 200-meter indoor race at the 2025 Steve Miller Invitational in Kansas in the USA. Alex Samankwa also rewrote Ghana's indoor 800-meter record, clocking a sensational 1.4580 minutes at the 2025 Melrose Games in New York in the USA. Now let's get to the FA Cup round 4 or round of 32, you can say. Plymouth Argyle produced a classic FA Cup giant killing as the championship club stunned Premier League leaders Liverpool at the home park. Plymouth goalkeeper Conor Hazard put up a spectacular performance against Liverpool at home.
Wasn't a lot to be happy about as well. The only thing I was happy about is that the boys kept on fighting for 100 minutes, and probably the best part of our game were the last 10 minutes. So that tells you that they kept on fighting, but credits to them. Good game plan. Worked incredibly hard and got a penalty that was rewarded, was deserved, because it was a penalty, clear penalty, correct decision. But that had a lot of impact on the game, of course, because both teams hardly had any chance, and all of a sudden you get a penalty kick again, which was a correct decision. But that, and then they were 1-0 up, and they kept on fighting till the end. And goalkeeper made 1 or 2 good saves in the end. But
all right, so that's Arne Slot, Liverpool head coach speaking there. Now let's get to Plymouth goalkeeper Conor Hazard, who put up a very good performance against Liverpool.
Conor, well done. This place is bouncing. Yeah, what an atmosphere. I say we didn't expect that this morning. We knew it was going to be tough, but the boys were brilliant today. Thank God for every single one of them. So don't be too modest. What about that save from Jota? Yeah, no, look, at the end of the day, that's my job, innit? Got to keep the ball in net best I can, so I'm delighted with that, yeah. And tell us about this guy as well, player of the match. What a performance. He's been instrumental since he's come in our squad. He's made such a massive difference, and we're lucky to have him.
Alright, so that's Plymouth goalkeeper Conor Hazard speaking right there. At the Villa Park, Aston Villa booked their spot in the FA Cup fifth round for the first time in a decade as pressure increased on Tottenham boss Ange Postecoglou.
Ange, commiserations. What are your first thoughts after the game?
Oh, it's a cup competition, so you kind of know you're out of the cup, which is the kind of biggest emotion you have. It's just disappointing. We obviously didn't get off to a great start, and when you're playing away from home, particularly a place like Villa, it makes it difficult. Then I thought we gave them some momentum after that, obviously scoring early. They got some confidence from that, and the crowd behind them. So we struggled to get a grip on the game. Having said that, we had a big chance to make it 1-1, which could have brought us back in the game. Second half was better. We obviously opened up a little bit because we were chasing the goal, and they had some good chance on the counter-attack. But
Alright, so that's our Spurs boss, Ange Postecoglou speaking. The Brighton came from behind to beat Chelsea and reached the next stage of the FA Cup. They were waiting for Manchester City and Manchester United as well are progressing to the next stage of that competition. In Spain, Real Madrid salvaged a 1-0 draw against City rivals Atletico Madrid in La Liga on Saturday, with Kylian Mbappe cancelling out Julian Alvarez first half penalty. In the Serie A, league leaders Napoli were held by Udinese to a 1-0 draw. Atlanta also put 5 past Verona in the Italian Serie A. In the NFL, Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles denied the Kansas City Chiefs a historic 3-peat as they stormed to a 40-22 victory over the back-to-back defending champions to win the Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. Wrapping up with tennis, and Carlos Alcaraz edged the tight final against Australia's Alex de Minaur to win the Rotterdam Open and claim the first indoor hardcourt title of his career. That's the very latest in the world of sport. For more, you can head to citysportsonline.com and on X at citysportsjj. Kickoff is proudly brought to you by Shell V Points on the GH. Back later at 5 p.m. with Sports Flash. My name is Gabriel Fair. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do take care and bye-bye.
It's not just a service station. It's a place you get more for every visit. It's not just a place to fill your tank. It's a place to fulfill your cravings. From chicken to chocolate, caramel or the tasty latte. It's not just a place to service your car. It's the perfect place to wash your ride. It's a place where convenience, love, friendship, joy and laughter assemble. Because it all starts at Shell. Visit Shell today and enjoy a wide array of services and offers under one roof. It starts at Shell.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Solar Tech, the power to protect.
Yes! SolarTech, your tried and trusted brand, is your total solution to all power problems, whether low voltage, high voltage, power surges, spikes, brownouts, or what have you. SolarTech fully protects your valuable equipment, no matter your appliance. We have the perfect SolarTech for you. Choose from my tried and trusted range, such as Fridge Guard, TV Guard, High Volt Guard, Multi Guard, AVS 13, AVS 30, AC Guard, SolarTech TV Stab, SolarTech Fridge Stab, UPS, and SolarTech Voltage Stabilizer. Beware of counterfeit SolarTech products. Get your genuine SolarTech products today at our Abelinkpe office and all our authorized dealers across the country. Contact us at number 10 Yiwa Street, Abelinkpe, or call 0302-761450 or 0302-775106.
SolarTech, the power to protect.
Where do your hopes and dreams take flight? The money you've earned, the future shining bright. At Petra, we're not just here for your retirement plan. We are here for the life you've imagined and then some. From your child's education to your dream home's door, we'll help you achieve what you're striving for. Petra is here, steady and strong. Your wealth in safe hands, where it belongs. With investments that grow at rates that compete, we build your future with every heartbeat. That's Petra, your partner. Come joy or strife, guiding you toward the dreams that define your life. For your pensions, investments, loans, and more, visit our website at petraonline.com or call 0242 435037. Petra, achieve more.
This March, we invite you to splash in the pool of cultural expressivity and soak yourself in the celebration of indigenous authenticity in our Heritage Month. Join us for the Heritage Month launch on Friday, February 28th, as we kick off a month of unforgettable experiences. Pack your bags for the Heritage Caravan, a week-long adventure across Ghana from March the 2nd to the 9th. Discover the beauty and history of our land.
It's an opportunity to see Ghana in a more beautiful, and the people, the connection.
Savor the flavors at the Back to Your Village Food Festival, a culinary extravaganza on March 29th and 30th.
The millet tozafi, the corn tozafi, we have the tubani, we have the wache, we have the dawadawa jollof rice. We also serve the local northern beverages. That's pito and zonko.
Taste the essence of Ghana.
The first one I was here, the second one I was here, the third one I was here, this one and the fourth one. And it's not just a bazaar, it's a festival now. And I'm so excited because this is what we should be doing.
Tune in to the Heritage On Air series on 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 TV. Each week, delve into what makes us Ghanaians.
The Owusu is a general account name. It's Dev's character. Owusu. So that is why the appellation is Owusu Eduam. You see, when an Asante is Eduam, it means something that belongs to him. So Dev's character, he comes to you and grab you as if it belongs to him.
Explore our places of interest, feel the rhythm of our music, journey through our religious history, and indulge in indigenous Ghanaian food. Join us to celebrate our heritage this Heritage Month, where every moment is a story. Only on Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM.
Let's Hayford, Mensa Saba, Bagrant, Sergeant Ajete, and all who fought.
Yasaka for Frabo, Pepper powder, Pepper Ojawo, Sankofa pepper powder, Sankofa, pepper powder, Sankofa, pepper powder.
Etianga go better than your potoyoa. Sankofa got you coming. Go for Sankofa pepper powder. Sankofa pepper powder. Abuna bunu abonje krakra. Sankofa pepper powder. Red and hot, very natural. Sankofa pepper powder. Chinchinga enembia. Sankofa pepper powder. Noodles, Ghana jollo. Sankofa pepper powder. Esisia nete. Sankofa pepper powder. Sankofa pepper powder. Sankofa pepper powder. Sankofa pepper powder.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
This March, we invite you to splash in the pool of cultural expressivity and soak yourself in the celebration of indigenous authenticity in our Heritage Month. Join us for the Heritage Month launch on Friday, February 28th, as we kick off a month of unforgettable experiences. Pack your bags for the Heritage Caravan, a week-long adventure across Ghana from March the 2nd to the 9th. Discover the beauty and history of our land.
It's an opportunity to see Ghana in a more beautiful, and the people, the connection.
Savor the flavors at the Back to Your Village Food Festival, a culinary extravaganza on March 29th and 30th.
The millet tozafi, the corn tozafi, we have the tubani, we have the wache, we have the dawadawa jollof rice. We also serve the local northern beverages. That's pito and zonko.
Taste the essence of Ghana.
The first one I was here, the second one I was here, the third one I was here, this one and the fourth one. And it's not just a bazaar, it's a festival now. And I'm so excited because this is what we should be doing.
Tune in to the Heritage On Air series on 97.3 Citi FM and Channel 1 TV. Each week, delve into what makes us Ghanaians.
Owusu is a general account name. It's Dev's character. Owusu Subain. So that is why the appellation is Owusu Eduam. You see, when an Ashanti says Eduam, it will be something that belongs to him. So Dev's character, he comes to you and grab you as if it belongs to him.
Explore our places of interest, feel the rhythm of our music, journey through our religious history, and indulge in indigenous Ghanaian food. Join us to celebrate our heritage this Heritage Month, where every moment is a story. Only on Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM.
Let's Hayford, Mensa Saba, Bagrant, Sagin Ajete, and all who.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
7:37, Monday the 10th of February. Happy birthday to the only legal MC, Johnson Oforiodro Esquire, from Kofi Nyakun Ado and the rest of the guys. Happy birthday to you, bro. And when you hear this song, you know we're in the mood, getting ready for a big match. And March is really a big enterprise for us at Citi because it's our Heritage Month and it has many components. Of course, the component you've heard about so far is the Heritage Caravan, which as we are told is completely sold out. But that's not the only thing we're doing in the month of March. There's still a lot of opportunity for you. We'll talk about that shortly. In the meantime, from January to June this year, Enterprise Insurance is giving you more reasons to smile on the road. Buy or renew your existing motor insurance policy and enjoy amazing rewards, free fuel coupons for your car and airtime for your phone. With over 100 years of trusted experience, we are here to secure you peace of mind. Come to any branch, connect with your insurance agent or broker, or use the Enterprise Advantage app for convenience and enjoy free fuel coupons and airtime instantly when you buy or renew your motor insurance. Enterprise Insurance is rated AAA by the GCR for financial strength and claims payability. And this is to tertiary or high school graduates looking for employable skills to launch a career in tech. Code Train is Ghana's premier software engineering and design code training program, empowering hardworking individuals to take their place in the global tech scene. For the past 7 years, Code Train has trained over 700 software engineers with an 89% job placement rate. And this is just within 6 months after graduation. Now, at Code Train, we don't just teach coding, we prepare you for the real world. Our practical bootcamp model helps get you working on real-time projects that solve problems for both local and international companies. We also offer 2-year professional training programs in software engineering and UX design, in-person training at our East Legon campus, and interactive virtual options for students outside Accra. For more information, call 054-5792-397 or visit codetrainafrica.com. Code Train Africa, your pathway to a high-paying tech career. And as Valentine's Day approaches, Africa World Airlines is ready to make it extra special for you and your loved one. Follow our social media pages, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, X, or even YouTube. Create a 30-second video of yourself singing the chorus of the Africa World Airlines jingle. Post it with the hashtag #FlyOurSingout. Tag us and send it to us on our social media handle. We'll get the top 3 videos to win some great prizes, a free ticket to any of our destinations. For more information, call 0800 200 200. Don't forget the hashtag is FlyOur.
And if you're looking for litigation-free land, please contact Royal Kingdom Estate, specializing in land acquisition, construction, design, property management, so much more. We have properties in prime areas, Ebri, Accra. Our land starts at 90,000 cedis. We offer flexible payment plans, affordable homes ranging from 2 bedrooms, premium furnished apartments for short rentals in East Airport. Visit us at Cantonment. We are opposite Soul Clinic International School. Call us 055-755-5909, 0272-778880. Email info@Royal Kingdom Estate. Royal Kingdom Estate, building communities, nurturing dreams. Lead the change with the university built for tomorrow's leaders. Heritage Christian University is set up to provide a missing link in tertiary education through creativity and innovation. We place a huge emphasis on entrepreneurship, technology, and practical learning with professional certification. That's why over the period we've given more than 450,000 cedis as startup grants to a number of our students to start their businesses. Call us on 0547777731 or 0202298399. hcuc.edu.gh is where you find us online. Heritage Christian University, educating compassionate entrepreneurial leaders.
right, so what else is happening in March? Beyond the Heritage Caravan, Frema Edunyami is our head of events, is joining us to tell us about the Heritage Month in entirety, and in particular, the Back to Your Village.
Thank you.
Food Festival. Frema, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Looking forward to the week.
Why they say?
Don't just focus. Don't you know how when you're vetting, they say just focus. Don't listen to their heckling. Just stay with me.
Yes, I'll address the chair.
Yeah, man. Order.
We are the minority, but
I'll address the chair.
Order.
Frema, it's good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm well, Bella. Thank you.
Are you the same Frema who came on radio last week with people on the...
Calm down. Calm down.
Are you the same person?
You know, I went to the Parliament on Thursday.
Yes.
And I had I met Tourism Minister, and I met Honorable Jifagumashi, I met Honorable Sam George, Honorable Ablakwa. And you know what? We're talking about is your boo.
Are you serious?
I tell you.
With all the problems Ghana has to solve.
No, sometimes let's just address other matters too.
So you are the same person, but you're in different character.
Yes.
So when you are here, you are in character. You are doing Heritage Caravan. Heritage
Friday,
Month.
I have my family.
Okay.
And you know, this week I'm doing CNR and event stuff. I also have my team, but we understand each other.
Somebody called me last week and said she wanted to be at the... She said, Bernard, I want to be at your back to school event. And I said, there's nothing like a back to school event. So in people's minds, it's back to something.
Yeah.
But the event is called what?
Back to your village.
Your village.
Your village food festival.
Thank you.
So it's back to your village.
Back to your village.
Not back to school.
No, we are not going to school. We are going back home.
And it's a food festival.
Thank you.
What is the food festival?
So food festival, we are showcasing everything that we have, indigenous Ghanaian meals. You know? Most of us have traveled, you know, for job opportunities. Marriage has made people relocate and all. So sometimes you don't get to eat the food that you really want to eat. Now in our homes we don't have time. So I mean, we can't be peeling cassava and plantain just because you want to do fufu. If you don't even have anyone to pound a thing, it means you are not doing fufu. So now we've had other ways, you know, to do our fufu. I mean, almost all the indigenous meals.
So we are not getting the authentic
the original one that we know, as your grandmother, as your mother would do in her kitchen. You know, doing it with the dad saying.
Let me tell you one food that when I go to my hometown we used to do. My mother's hometown, when you go, they cook cocoyam with they don't peel it.
Okay. Exactly.
They cook the cocoyam and sometimes they put abedru on it.
Yeah.
And then it's after it's boiled that you remove the.
And there's a way to do it even with your finger, you know. So also
and when you eat that one, it tastes different.
It slaps different.
Because when you use knife to cut the skin and boil it,
something is gone.
You miss something.
Virtue is
it's
taken out
like
of
drinking palm wine in glass. You don't do that. It's an abuse of the drink. There has to be in a calabash.
So is that a kind of feeling that the back to your village?
Exactly. So we just want to let you know that we are doing it as it will be done at home. If it's kenke we are eating, you know, we are now cooking kenke at home in non-stick pans and no. You know, and that
being Gaza. It's a cookie pot.
You understand? That they said sometimes it's like 12 years old. The whole thing
has history.
That they say in the home has history. You know, so it's part of it. You know, if you are eating teaser, you know, teaser that you eat in Accra is different from teaser that you eat when you go to Bolga, when you go to Tamale. I'm serious.
The vibe is different.
Even the wache is different.
So you're saying the way the food is done, number one, and then the variety.
So when you visit the Back to Your Village Food Festival, you notice that we have various villages. So we have the Akan village, we have the Southern village that will take care of the Volta foods, the Gan foods and all, and then we have the Northern village that will give you a Dawadawa Jollof, your TZ, your Wache, you know.
So are we maintaining the geographical villages as we did? Northern.
Yes, we are maintaining them.
Akan and Southern.
It's easy to identify. So when you're coming in and you want to, you don't have to comb the whole place, because we get quite a number of vendors, you know, who come. So we just want to make it easier for people. If it's northern food you're looking for, there's a place to go. If it's southern food, there's a place to go. So you don't.
So these vendors, are they people who actually prepare and sell these things regularly, or they only do it because of the festival?
It depends. Some of them are event vendors. Some of them have food houses, you know, so everyone is coming in to ensure. Now the beautiful thing is we are preparing the meals right at the venue.
Thank you.
So if it's fufu, we are peeling cassava, we are peeling plantain, we are pounding. Yes, so if it's TZ, we are doing everything.
So I can see how the process is.
Exactly. You know, our children today don't even know how some of these foods. I don't remember the last time I pounded fufu in my house. So quite honestly, my children don't know how to pound fufu. Unfortunately, it's not the best, you know, but that's why Factory of Village Food is there. So we are going there like we are going to the lab. We are going to the lab for practicals. You understand? So come and sit there.
So tell me about some of the things to expect in terms of food that you would typically not get to buy, because of course you get bachi to buy everywhere.
Yes,
we get jollof, we get fried plantain, yokagari and stuff. But what are some of the things that Back to Your Village festival brings that is unique?
You know, so we have the apapransa. You know, apapransa is not an everyday meal. Even today, a tour is not everyday. You know, as I said, you find it small, but you know, but a lot of people enjoy eating it. We don't know how it's prepared. Okay, so we are bringing some of these meals.
So Potompoto will be available.
Potompoto will be available.
And by the way, does it belong to Southern or Central? Where is it?
National.
It's a national. So some foods are national.
Like jollof. You know, some food have even gone beyond borders.
Yeah, man.
You know, so
beyond borders.
They contest
global
skill. You understand? Yeah. So that is what we are doing, and it also goes with our snacks and our drinks.
Oh, so it's not just full meals.
No.
So there's like those achomo, those things that are sold on the side.
Everything, the kuli, you know, the pito, the Now when we talk of indigenous drinks, people are just talking about sobolo, asana, but there's a whole variety of drinks from Zunkum, you know, Meda, all these.
The one I like is called Liha.
Aliha.
It's like asana, but it's very nice.
You know, so we are bringing all these grills as well. You know, a confirm. You know, so Kofi Brokeman. You know,
all of that.
Oh yeah. You know, we apart from the plantain, we also do the yam and kobe. You know, exactly. So these are very popular.
By the way, if you are eating, what we like, maybe yam. Is it better with garden next to your contemporary stew? If you have Kobe, which one is better?
Okay.
It's a test question. It's a quiz question. Does Kobe do better with contemporary or with garden egg? Discuss.
It depends. Okay. Because the garden eggs, you know, so it depends whether you are doing the abomu or you are doing the stew.
And the Kobe is roasted. It's not fried. This Kobe is roasted.
And you grind the head inside.
Yes. Yeah. So does it work better with? No, you can discover for yourself there.
Contomere is not, but you know the contomere, no, like momone kakra. You know you roast it.
So garden eggs may work better.
So contomere won't be bad. But you know, for me, when you are doing the stew, you know, I'll go with the Kobe and the smoked salmon with the garden eggs. But if we are doing the thing, as a katia kakra. You know, in the you see the way I'm doing my house. Some food festival.
In the atmosphere.
So when you even go there, you can even ask the vendor that can I even poto kakra, you know, and fufu also comes with its accessories. You know, so sometimes the fufu, especially when you go to Kumasi and you are eating the fufu, you know, you have to grind the liver, you have to add ginger to it. The soup is done, but when you go, you bring your own selection of ingredients that you want to add. You know, pepper, ginger.
The first time Konimo came to Ghana, we went to Citi. It's like 2006. He said he has to eat fufu before he does anything.
Wow!
So in his cloth from the plane, he and his people, we took them to the place. What's the name of this place?
Wow.
Heavy Do.
Wow.
So he was talking about food. Then they brought something that we sprinkled on it. After they did the fufu, the woman, I don't know what it was, they sprinkled something on it. He said, after the food, before we can now talk.
Thank you.
I mean,
and this was like 3 p.m.
Oh, yes. But fufu is eating, there's no time limit for fufu.
After 11,
it can be breakfast, it can be lunch, it can be.
He said when he finished eating the fufu, then his valves open to discuss
further matters.
You can expand your time.
But there's a soup I'm looking forward to. I was waiting for you to mention it.
Is it ebunebunu?
Oh no.
Is it abekati kuntu?
That be.
Is it rere?
Oh, rere is a thing, but I can't.
No,
I'm tripping him.
No, it's too early.
With fufu, there's nothing like early. No, it's allowed.
So by the way, all this we are saying, right? So how do we take part in a festival? First, as So vendors.
Yes.
How do you get to become a vendor?
So give us a call now. The lines are open now. And call us on 0558 973 973. 0558 973 973 or 0205 973 973.
So if I call as a vendor, I'll be taken to a process of registering.
Exactly.
So I can come and prepare and sell food.
And sell your food.
By the way, when is this event?
So this is, Back to Your Village Food Festival is a 2-day event. So we are doing 29th and 30th March.
29th and 30th March.
The last weekend, Saturday and Sunday of March.
Okay, so this is for a call for vendors.
Exactly.
Of all kinds of things.
Of all
Foods,
kinds of things. Drinks, snacks.
And snacks.
Yes.
Wow. So they make the call and they register and then they confirm their seat.
You confirm.
I see. Where is this event happening?
At the forecourt of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly.
Okay.
That's where we always go. So this year is happening there as well. Now, it is a festival because we are not just looking at food. We are also looking at, when you gather for a party, there's music, there's dance. We are bringing in all that. Last year we had the Bobobo group come in. It was such a beautiful
So each village will also do their performance.
Exactly.
So as we are eating the Southern village food, we also have Southern culture.
We have Southern culture. We
Central
have
culture.
Ghana,
Northern culture.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And then we also have Jama session.
Wow. So there'll be Bobobo, there'll be Adoa, there'll be Damba and all of those dances. And then there'll be Jama at the end.
And there'll be Jama as well.
And then there will be enough food to eat for the whole day.
Enough to eat, to take home, to go and store. Because, there are certain meals that you can only eat it once a year. That is at the food festival. Do you know Apalanchi? Apalanchi.
What be that?
You should know.
Apalanchi.
Maybe you have.
It's the name I don't know yet.
So it's fried cassava.
Okay.
Yeah, fried cassava. We have the ampesi. Yes, we have the ampesi cassava. We have the fufu one.
Yeah.
The ampesi ones are the slim ones.
Yes.
Exactly. They are very nice. Yes, like yam.
And it's fried.
There's some cassava that's been tasted nicer than yam.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
But now, what do you eat the apalanchi with?
Pepper.
Wow.
Yeah.
Apalanchi.
And it's a Volta food.
Oh, are you serious?
Well,
but this name doesn't sound.
We have a different name.
Sky must give me that.
So go and ask your grandmother. Go and ask your
because Apalanchi there.
Well, I know it's Apalanchi.
So what are you looking forward to in this? Because you were at the last one.
Yeah,
you were at the last one where you brought some people from your constituency to come and eat.
Yeah, man.
Calm down, man.
Yes.
As a visitor to the country, I have a couple of things on my menu.
Oh my God!
When I visit this traditional food festival, I'm looking forward to trying, the very indigenous fried cow pea bean cake.
The what?
Fried cow pea bean cake.
What's it?
Moi moi.
Go behind.
It's also called, they say kose.
Fried cow pea bean cake.
Yeah, I've been told it goes well with Russell calyx.
Huh?
Russell calyx.
What's
Some
that?
chilled Russell calyx.
How's that cuckoo?
The one is what you call sobolo. So when I show up, I make a bit of the list. When I got off the flight, I really want to enjoy the Ghanaian. And they have tozafi.
They do. We do.
Okay, I hear it goes really well with fresh jute mallow soup.
What?
Fresh jute mallow.
Jute mallow soup.
Yeah. But you people call it ayoyo. I'll be there.
Of course. But you know that even the
I like the way you found the English names for our soups.
Ayoyo.
Ayoyo is what? Jute mallow.
Yeah, fresh jute mallow. You like baobab?
Yes.
And are they bringing spaghetti jollof, from the north? They have this. Dawa with guinea fowl.
Oh yeah, of course. Yes.
We're coming, man.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of
You got to. Confirm your baby.
Yeah, the grill.
It's a working Monday morning. People are very serious in
we are working,
So the Back to Your Village Food Festival is the last event in the month.
In March, yes.
Walk us through the month again. We start with Heritage Caravan.
Yes, we start with Heritage Caravan, and then
from 2nd to 9th.
From 2nd to 9th.
Okay.
We are ready, for Heritage Caravan. I think patrons are very excited, sponsors are excited, organizers are also very excited. So we are just, marking time to the 2nd of March, and then we'll take off from the Greater Accra region and then move straight to the Volta region, where we have the Volta food experience. That is going to happen. So
and that's happening during the caravan.
Yes. So when we move from Accra to the Volta region, that is what we are doing now. And then throughout the whole 1 week, we are just visiting places. We are having nice time. It's a road trip. The action is on the buses. So we are going to have fun. And then the last bit of the event will be the Back to Your Village Food Festival. But in between, we have the on-air programs as well. So we are media house. So what we are also telling people on radio, what we are showing on TV is also very key. So for the month of March is going to be looking at our Ghanaian heritage, what makes us Ghanaian, the pride that being Ghanaian gives you, and what we can also do more, to show Ghana to the whole world. So it's
so March is the month.
Yes.
March is the month, and the Heritage Month will feature lots of different things on air as well.
Exactly.
But the climax
is
the last Saturday and Sunday of March.
Yes.
Where we bring you back to your village
food festival.
Whether you are from the north, the central, or the coastal part of Ghana, your village will be presented there.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of food to eat, lots of snacks, lots of drinks, and I'm told there's a lot of dancing as well to happen on there. So for those of us who just want to come and eat, we just have to come on the 29th. But for those who want to vend food, they have to call and register.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you said the numbers are what again?
0558 973 973 0205 973 973. So the lines are open now.
Okay.
And just like we had with Heritage Caravan, if you want to be there, please, the phone lines are open. Don't wait till last minute and come and tell us that, so you called your people already, and then when it was left with only 10 slots, then you came to tell us to do. No, we give equal opportunity to everybody. So the lines are open. If you know you want to come, please ensure that you do so now. And please make sure that you have your FDA certification. It's also very, very important.
It's getting serious now.
For those who came last year, we had over 100 vendors. They all had their FDA certification. Sometimes you feel, we are in this together. I don't think that people will have it. People will take it serious. People are taking it seriously. So if you want to be at the Back to Your Village Food Festival, one thing that we are particular, once FDA says you are good to go, because these are you are coming from different backgrounds, preparing your meals. We cannot go to everybody's kitchen to check what you do there, but it's the FDA's responsibility to ensure that whoever is coming is certified. So we will inspect your FDA certification. So please, if you intend to be part of the Back to Your Village Food Festival, make sure that you have your FDA certification.
Prima, it's always good to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. So she came through to announce for the first time the call for vendors for your Back to Your Village Food Festival happening on the last Saturday and Sunday of March 29th, 28th and 29th.
Of 29th and 30th.
Forgive me. 29th and 30th March. A couple of comments. My first time at the bazaar was last year, and I ate food I hadn't since my grandma died 11 years ago, and I missed her dearly.
So now it's festival.
Apalanche is supposed to be the adulterated form of apa banchi.
Okay.
Or apam banchi. Well, thank you for the information. Good morning, Bernard. I'm Charles from Ketekrachi. Since my grandma died, I haven't seen yam fufu for about 21 years.
Wow.
You know the funny thing? A lot of people only go to their hometowns to see their grandparents.
Yeah.
So usually they link back to your village with your grandma.
Exactly.
And it's not a good thing, because it looks like when our grandparents die, our parents have not nurtured the village well. So it's like, you can't go.
Because we've all moved. So, you have your grand aunties, your grand uncles there and all. It's also very important. No, this is a serious call, that we should make it a habit to take our children to the village. It's very important.
So they know how to eat authentic food from the pot.
Meals, yes.
Food brewed in an African pot.
Exactly.
All right. I'm sure you'll be back again one of these days.
I will.
Thank you. Always enjoy having you on the show. 2 minutes past 8. It's part of our month-long celebration of everything Ghanaian. Heritage Month is a 97.3 Citi FM Channel 1 initiative.
Sharp.
Coming up next is our tech and social media trends segment, and it's sponsored by?
It's brought to you by First Bank Ghana and Telecel. First Bank Ghana says if you're sending money to Gambia, Guinea, Liberia, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone, it's very easy. We have the Pan-African Payment and Settlement Systems PAPS. Through that, we're able to send money for business and personal purposes. If you want to send money, visit any of our branches, First Bank Ghana branches nationwide with your cash, and your money is sent in no time. To receive money, you will need an account with us. This is one way we put you first. Please call 0596 921 921 to find out more. Also, switch to Telecel fixed broadband today and experience incredible bonuses, non-expiry bundles, data transfers across devices, and lots more. To subscribe to Telecel fixed broadband for these amazing offers, dial star 900 hash or use the Telecel Play app. Visit the Telecel retail outlet, telecel.com.gh. Get connected today. Terms and conditions apply. Telecel, connecting energies.
Sugram is joining us with a segment called Tech and Social Media Trends. Suzu, welcome.
Oh, good morning.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
What is trending?
Well, yesterday was my favorite Sunday of the year. It was Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, Lord.
So, a lot of Super Bowl related trends. So
like what?
Drake and Kendrick Lamar are trending.
They performed there?
No, Kendrick Lamar performed, but he performed a diss song to Drake called Not Like Us. So various.
Why do you do a diss song at the Super Bowl?
That's one of his biggest songs. So it's part of the trend. So Not Like Us is trending. Serena Williams came out for the performance as well. She did a crip walk, so she's also in the trends. Lil Wayne is in the trends because people are saying he should have performed because it happened in his hometown of New Orleans, Louisiana. So that was also in the trends.
But he wasn't invited.
No, they chose Kendrick Lamar. So those are all in the trends. But
I heard President Trump was there.
Yes, of course.
The first sitting president to be at the Super Bowl final. Super Bowl.
So
well, makes sense.
So that was also there, and various the part of the game was also trending aside the performance. A lot of people watched for the halftime performance. The Philadelphia Eagles, Ghana's team actually. The NFL has assigned Ghana to the Philadelphia Eagles as their exclusive markets. That's what.
How did they do that?
When they did the launch, that was one of the things they did. They decided that Ghana and Philadelphia Eagles have a link. So Ghana has also. Yeah. So in fact, I was at the NFL launch. Some of the executives from the team were there. Some of the cheerleaders from the team were there. That kind of stuff. Yeah, and some of the players as well. So Ghana has won indirectly in the Super Bowl.
What was the score?
It was 40-22. It was a very bad game for the Kansas City Chiefs. They were going for their third in a row. But at halftime, they were down 24-0.
So this was a neutral venue?
Yes, it was played in New Orleans.
Because I think last year Kansas City won.
They've won. That's what I'm saying. They've won two in a row. They were trying to go for the third one.
It won't happen. You're not Real Madrid.
Exactly. So we reached. So our halftime was 24-0. So I just watched the halftime show and I slept. Usually I watch the whole game.
24-0. There's no coming back.
Well, Tom Brady did it. Was down 28.
Yeah, that was against Atlanta.
Yes, he was down. He was on
27-3.
Yeah, at 28-3 I think. But 27 or 28-3, and he came back.
Wow.
Yeah, but so I just I went to bed, but I was hoping that no comeback.
So this is the Philadelphia Eagles
and the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes.
Wow. So Super Bowl was big.
Yeah. So
what else is big?
So some football related trends, of course. Sevilla and Barcelona, they played the late game on Sunday.
1-4.
Yes, 4-1 to Barcelona. Liverpool and Plymouth are also trending, of course.
Out happily.
Are you sure?
Oh,
are you sure? You know that meme where it's like the meme I'm talking about.
Yeah,
the happily. Are you
smiling on the outside, crying on the inside?
That's why you can't trick me. Chiesa is also trending.
The FA Cup has lost its last time.
For who?
For us.
Chiesa is also trending.
For the league.
Chiesa and Diaz are also trending. I think Chiesa, he had a very poor performance. From what personally, when I saw the lineup, I felt that Anislot wasn't too interested in winning the game, especially with his bench option.
Made a mistake. He underestimated.
I think once you don't put Salah on the bench, it shows that you are not taking the game seriously.
What should have given him a clue was Leighton Orient's handling of Man City. That should have told him that whatever it is he intended to do,
I actually think there are too many games. Sometimes when you have too many games, sometimes just lose. Focus on the league, win it. That's what Liverpool fans want. I think FA Cup is not that big.
They haven't won it in a very long time.
No, they won it 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Klopp won FA and
won
Carabao
FA Cup. Carabao.
Yeah.
The real EG is the league.
Oh, true.
So Charlie, sometimes you have Liverpool have 5 games in 15 days. You don't need FA Cup to join to that.
And I think, frankly, the continental managers also don't see the cup as more important. It's because if you look at teams on the continent, the cup is a very minor to their season.
It's the English coaches that really,
because the FA Cup came before the league. That's why in England. That's why in England, I don't think so.
Commercial considerations have destroyed the cup.
I think in England, for English fans, it's a big deal. But I think for us,
we are not English.
Us who are not English, we don't care as much.
Go and look for something to do.
But and now some Ghanaian related news. So national security and Sapeman are trending.
Charlie.
Yes, obviously there was that huge bust.
9 or 10 containers.
Yes.
Of gold,
dollars, fake army uniforms. A very strange situation. And there's an allergy they are looking for. Very strange. So
he's not been found. They are looking for the allergy.
Somebody called allergy and 4 some further suspects
are on the run.
We don't have a description.
But don't they want us to help them catch the people?
The last time they put out the statement, they were describing people,
including tattoos on places that we couldn't even tell.
This one, the only description we have is allergy.
But this is national security, not police.
Whichever
was police involved?
We want to help them find this person.
We are scared. We are concerned.
Well, 12 20-foot containers.
Charlie, serious
of gold and fake currency.
How did he enter the country?
Bernard, I'm waiting for a press conference.
Because is this
Ghana?
Bernard,
press conference.
Don't tell us anything.
No, it's because is it money laundering? Is it counterfeiting?
Do you know,
is it fraud? What is it?
Is it wrong to expect a press conference?
Do you know the easiest cop-out statement in Ghana?
What?
Investigations are going on.
That's
all. Once they say that the case is closed, we are investigating.
Yeah, but Bernard, you see, I think that I want people to understand the scale of this bust.
It's crazy. It's absolutely mad. It's very big.
20-foot containers, baku 12,
full of fake dollars and gold.
Fake dollars, and the gold is not fake.
So where is it from? Where is it going? Who has it?
Army uniforms, boots.
Yeah, the army uniforms is the scary part.
Bernard.
So is it that they were even transiting into some other country?
Bernard, whichever one, they should do a press conference. We have questions.
It's very, very important.
This is not investigations are going on matter. No. And they said they are chasing 2 more. But we want to help them catch allergy.
But they've done well in
intercepting it. Yeah, it's a good bust.
It was a good operation. So that's also trending.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. So going to tech news, it turns out that gambling sites have been sharing data with Facebook. So if you go on a gambling site, you see. So what happened is that certain people went on a gambling site and they realized that the next time they went on Facebook, all their ads had become gambling related.
But I even mentioned somebody's name
before
in my office. Facebook suggested the person to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not even joking. I was in somebody's office and I mentioned a person's name.
Yeah.
The next minute Facebook, and I said that's the day I'll stop using it.
Sometimes you even think it and then you.
Hey, right now Facebook, we never do the my brother.
I'm convinced that our phones are listening to us all that. Because look, your phone is there waiting for you to say hey Siri.
That's why
it means that the microphone is always on.
Sometimes I give them deliberate wrong information.
Sure. Don't worry. You can't check because your habits, the wrong information you are putting 1% of the time to never go over the 99% of the time you are using your phone normally. You've lost the battle. Don't worry.
I actually haven't posted anything there in a long time.
And because the thing is your phone is waiting for you to say hey Siri, hey Google, hey this, hey that. It's waiting for you. So how can they tell us the phone is not?
So they found out now that gambling sites. So is this?
They've been given the data illegally.
So what are they going to do? They're going to find them.
Well, yeah, this is an investigation that's about to start in the UK. It's a big
I hope Samuel George is listening to some of these things. So a lot of times when we discuss these things, they are very Western. But I feel like our internet governance has to be stronger.
Yeah, sure.
Our parliament needs to show force, not just in summoning people who have insulted somebody, but also companies that make money here that misuse our data. They have to get more serious.
No, I think data privacy is a huge issue, and
we don't take it seriously here.
It's something that one of my university professors talked about. That basically, once you have a smartphone, you have social media. They've created a profile of you that they are monitoring to tailor your ads, to do this, to do that.
And our question is, what are our laws saying about that in terms of what is too much and what is not?
The thing is, generally, we agree to them because they put it all in the terms and conditions.
But in the countries that still summon them, they still agree to the terms and conditions, but they still.
No, but the gambling site, they didn't agree.
So this is why it's an issue.
Yeah, because the gambling sites usually don't come and say, we are tracking you, accept cookies and stuff. They don't say those things. They just have their site, you are using their site. Next time you go to Facebook and it's like your algorithm has changed. It's like, how
is this UK or US?
This was in the UK. So they are wondering how the data got from here to here.
So are they going to summon Facebook?
It's the gambling sites who sold it to Faye, who shared it. So they are the ones who are in more trouble because they are the ones who breached confidentiality.
Over here, we're still waiting for who gave our information to the political parties to be texting us and stuff.
Well, that one.
Maybe who said you? I don't know now.
No, but that one.
There are many reasons to connect, and it's all to put smiles on the faces of those you love.
Daddy, thanks for the tea cash, okay? I love you.
That's my daughter Angela. Caring for my parents, that's my duty. I also get to pay my utility bills easily with Telecel Cash, and to the suppliers at my shop.
Hello, sir. Telecel Cash payment received right on time. Thank you.
I get to make them smile because I can pay to my suppliers' merchant numbers, even on other networks directly, and send Telecel Cash for free to my dear ones.
We keep the connection stronger when our family, friends, and business relations are happy. Make free Telecel Cash transactions every day, anytime, from your Telecel Cash wallet to your loved one's Telecel Cash wallet. Save on cash, enjoy convenience, and make those who matter smile when you send them money with Telecel Cash.
Telecel, connecting energies.
You
looking for a bank to rely on? Let me give you a shoulder to lie on. Wouldn't we seek out to bank it, no lie. Only one place where I get my eye on. Make I introduce you all to First Bank, the best services in the world, first rank. Customer service, everything is well planned. I make music, I travel, I sell land. They be my reserve tank. Cause every time I know my money's safe. Universal banking ain't in me here on the date. I'm a busy person, me no need time to wait. Now I got to Spain, even when I'm in the States. My me blue shirt. Me tell me office a chilling, but who cares? Cause I bank with the best. I'm lucky, I'm too blessed. When it comes to First Bank, it's too west. Everything is you first. Woo!
Nobody feed do I'm like us. Do I'm like us. First Bank we treat you first. Treat you first. Somebody see yeah. Think about you first. Think about you first.
You first. First Bank.
This year, something magical is happening. A celebration of tradition, flavor, and community. Welcome to the Back to Your Village Food Festival 2025.
Taste the heart of your heritage with mouth-watering dishes from across the country like Ademe with akple, Tozafi with ayoyo soup, kokonte, apopranta, rerenkwine, and many more. From rich spices to sweet treats, it's a journey for your senses. We're taking you back to your village.
Oh yes, let's recreate our age-old recipes.
But it's not just about food, you know. We're celebrating culture, connecting with family, and making memories that last a lifetime.
This March, let's come together and discover the flavors that make us who we are. The date is 29th and 30th of March 2025. The venue, Accra Metropolitan Assembly, and the time is 10 a.m. through till 6 p.m. each day.
The Back to Your Village Food Festival 2025, where food, fun, and tradition meet. See you there.
Interested vendors should call 0558 973 973 or 0205 973 973 to register. The Back to Your Village Food Festival 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM.
I'm gonna lie. We're going to get to a Don't check that more. I'm money. I am a home.
There is love at Orca Deco this Valentine's season. We've got lovely discounts on selected home furniture and accessories. Enjoy 20% off exclusive furniture, decor, accessories, and many more. Orca has everything to make your sweetheart feel truly special. Set the mood and experience the art of living this Valentine at Orca from now until 16th February. Visit Orca Deco on the Spintex Road before everything runs out.
Yafimi gave us the vibe. Now, Inshola Chili makes you thrive.
Yes, so it's time to enjoy, Charlie. Buy or renew your motor insurance and boom! Free fuel coupons and airtime for your sweat. Who don't like enjoyment?
From January to June 2025, Enterprise Insurance gives you more reasons to smile on the road. Insure today and enjoy free fuel coupons for your car and airtime for your phone.
Free fuel? Airtime too? Hey! Enterprise Insurance, always your advantage.
Insure not chilly. It's simple. Insure and enjoy. Ready to secure your peace of mind and experience the fastest claims payment? Visit any of our branches or agency outlets nationwide. Connect with your insurance broker or enjoy the convenience of buying your insurance online through the Enterprise Advantage app today. Terms and conditions apply. Enterprise, your advantage.
Since inception, almost 100% of Ashesi University students have found jobs, started businesses, or gone on to graduate school within 6 months of graduation. From Accra to Nairobi, London to New York, Ashesi graduates are noticed and are leading successful careers. If you dream of a rewarding life and career, an Ashesi education prepares you just for that. Learn more about applying to Ashesi at ashesi.edu.gh. Remember, admission is ongoing.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
This is Citi 97.8.
20 minutes past 8. The group is called ABBA. Very soon we'll be talking to my guest for the morning, David Fosu-Dorte, who's the senior partner at AB and David Africa. And a very interesting subject. 30 days into Mohammed's government. I think it's now 33 days.
Okay.
What have we learned so far? So basically, what some people think you can use somebody's beginning to predict their end.
Sir?
But it's not always the case.
I can't wait to hear Mr. Fosu-Dorte's thoughts.
I think that's actually the first question. To what extent can you use somebody's beginning? You know, when we go to school, like when I was in Preset Form 1, Charlie, if I was going to use the first 2 weeks to tell how I'll end, I would have been so wrong.
I know.
Because some guys were so aggressive, so Charlie, they showed Charlie by the second year, Charlie, they fall off. And some people we didn't know ended very strong. But be that as it may,
I can't wait.
We want to look at 30 days of Mahama. Yeah. What can we learn from that? Now, before we do that, pay your fees and residential fees with Zenith Bank, whether you are KNUST, UG, UDS, UEW, or UMAT, or Akosom International, or call Ronsad. You can do this at any branch. Call 0302 680-884 or go to zenithbank.com.gh to do that. And Volkswagen wants to be part of every moment in the life of every great man and woman. We want to be there when you start your new family, when you arrive on time for important social gatherings, when hasting to resolve an emergency at home or at work, when you receive that big idea during rush hours in the city, when the family is on a road trip. Now, the new Terra Month will carry all your special moments in its renowned spacious 7-seater. It's 3.6 liters. It has a V6 petrol engine producing a maximum power of 280 horsepower. Be sure you will at home and at work get quicker. Now it's selling for 712,000 CDs. Call or WhatsApp 025-795-6688 for more information about our range of models: the Virtus, the T-Cross, the T1, the Allspace, the Terramont, and the Amarok pickup. Hurry while stocks last.
And when you get the chance, you are the dancing.
And it's time to maximize and grow your business exponentially. Just ask me how, Woody Abusame. Are you a shop owner, seamstress, trader, mechanic, or artisan? If you're a hotel or hospital owner, that's great. Or do you have a phone, television, car, house, or property you want to sell? So the Bisame app is here to help you connect to your customers. Here's how it works. You need to register your business, reach more customers. So with the Bisame app, your security is assured. You just locate the item you want to buy from any social media platform. Inform Bisame. A seller is sent to bring the item to our office for inspection before you make payment. Then the item is shipped to you wherever you are. The app has an in-app video call that gives you safety as well. So download the Bisame app on the Google Play Store or the App Store today and unlock endless possibilities. Grow your business, connect with customers, enjoy success with ease. So reconnect with your roots this March at the Back to Your Village Food Festival 2025. Come, let's treat you to delectable, authentic Ghanaian cuisines from all across the country. It's happening on 29th and 30th March 2025, Accra Metropolitan Assembly from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. If you have interested vendor, please call 055-8973-973 or 050-0205-973-973.
So Godfred is asking for more particulars on the heist, the national security heist of 9 20-footer containers containing
not 9,
12
yeah.
20-footer containers
with 2 missing that they are tracking,
and this had gold bars,
yes,
and fake, supposedly fake currency.
Yes, but they didn't tell us whether the CDs was fake though. Because the dollars that we are told is fake.
And this is Ofako near Sapema.
Yes, Sapema.
South.
Warehouse. Because you see, legitimately, yeah, and before you talk to David, just quickly for me, questions I would ask off head.
Mm-hmm.
Who rented the warehouse?
Mm-hmm.
Whose name would be on the clearance of those documents from the ports? All those things.
I'm sure customs bonded warehouse.
You know, so I'm sure national security would have reasons why perhaps they don't want to make this public, but so far as you have told us that
you have caught
this, we need a bit more detail. You are still looking for people.
Yeah,
the public can help,
but you didn't defraud the people.
Yeah, they told us Alaji.
Maybe this is on a need to know basis.
They shouldn't have told us they're looking for one Alaji, somebody called Alaji, and 4 others.
You know, sometimes these announcements are made to let you know that they are working, not necessarily to seek your help.
So they don't need our help.
Supposedly not. I don't know if they needed our help to catch the people in the first place.
No, they didn't. But if they're on their run,
I don't know. You are right. I think there needs to be more information. Once you brought it out, it needs to be put out there.
Yes. Also, because the sheer size of this particular, makes it more than norm. Takes it beyond the realms of a normal bust.
And you don't want to speculate whether it was coming, it had been brought in, or it was being sent out, or it is in transit.
Yeah. So, for instance, off the top of my head, Bernard.
Yes.
12 20-foot containers. Let's assume the gold is even half of it. This is a country that deals with galamsey.
Yeah.
We are trying to find whoever has been doing what with our gold.
Yeah. And there's already a discrepancy between the
official
amount
numbers
that you get for gold officially and how much you produce.
Would this not be a good opportunity to figure out, okay, is there a link? Who is doing this? It's a good place to start, isn't it?
They probably are, but they are not telling you.
No, one day, but eventually, you see, the way a democracy works, I keep saying this.
We have to know.
If you put it out, we want to know.
Yes.
We want to know. We want to help. Alhaji, we want him.
It's serious.
Talk to David.
No,
I'm here.
No, it's actually something I'm thinking about. So this was announced over the weekend.
Yes.
And you think there should be some further and better particulars, maybe in the form of a press conference or a press release.
Yes.
But I know National Security don't do press conferences.
But they took they give us photos, so they give us everything.
National security will give you information, but they won't do it publicly. But you've worked in this for 20 years.
Yes.
I'm not encouraging, I'm just telling you that this is how things are. So they probably can.
But I don't have to accept it.
They probably need to issue another statement giving further details.
Yeah.
To avoid the speculation. Because for me, the key issue is that was it coming in, was it going out, or was it passing through? Those are very important questions. Because you see, you have a very volatile Sahelian region.
Yes.
Usually gold currency usually go with weapons. And usually
somebody's buying something.
You get me? So, and that's why a lot of
paying for something.
A lot of these countries, when they have civil strife, people go and steal, people go and take over mines.
Yeah.
Because they want things they can sell without going through the right system. Yeah. So for me, it's a very serious security issue to have this level of thing found in Ofako.
I'm even sure the Americans will be interested, considering the dollars we saw. Who is printing this kind of fake currency?
A country that claims everything is in cedis, but everything is priced in dollars. In fact, and in a parliamentary vetting committee, they are making allegations of dollar. In fact, the minority that says this area is a dollar rent.
But the dollars were in wooden cartons, so it's not like they were in wooden cartons.
But I need to say that a few things. The banks have started doing something very good. I think after the second round of currency depreciation, they've tightened up their running of these forex accounts. So if you're going to send any currency to the bank, it has to be traced. So now we've seen some seriousness in, like 5-6 years ago, you could basically just, if I give Caleb $100 note, he can just go and put it in the bank.
Yeah.
Now they want to trace it. So they will ask, where is it coming from? Yeah. Does it have a receipt? Does it have a serial number? And I think that sometimes you can use those institutional tightening to check counterfeiting. All right. So you are right. There should be more coming. But look, let's not even shroud all of this.
But just a quick dedication from me. Happy blessed birthday wishes to Emily Dadzi of Stanlib Investments. As your days, so shall your strength be. May the lines continue to fall in pleasant places for you. This is from your parents, Francis and Dr. Philomena Dadzi, and your siblings, Peggy and Frances.
I also want to wish happy birthday to Netele Nete Ajaho, who is our business reporter here on Channel 1 and Citi FM. Anyway, I was at Crystal Ball. This is 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Crystal Ball is Godfrey, it's a very interesting conference, and I like attending for a reason. So, it's one of the few truly Pan-African events. So, you usually have people from at least 15 countries. So, usually you have Nigeria will be there, Kenya definitely, Namibia, a lot of East Africa, some West Africa will come, and some from outside the African continent, organized by AB and David. Now, what is interesting about this conference is that after all the discussions, they invite the convener to come at the end, to come and look in the crystal ball, to tell you what he expects for the year. And it's very funny because last year, some of the predictions actually came true. All right. And David claims he's not a prophet. He says, we just came to, history, something. But some of the things, like, for example, he said that the Chinese car company BYD was going to basically annihilate Tesla. Now he made this prediction in January. By August, in fact by July, they were producing almost double what Tesla was producing. Predictions about Trump and those types of things. So we had a nice time. So I invited David this morning because I don't want to look into the crystal ball. I just want to assess the first 32 days of Mahama. Okay, but I want to know if we're on the same premise. So David, I'm saying that when I went to secondary school, some people, when you saw them day one, you can tell what they will become by day one. The way they walk, the way they talk. This guy is SP material.
Yeah, I got to if you are not
good
kind of thing.
But some of the guys flattered to deceive because there were some guys, Charlie, every question they were answering. By the time we reached SS3, nothing gave them. So you realize that was initial gra. So before we even start the interview, are you of the view that the first month or first 100 days or whatever of a president is important to tell what he would do? Because some are flattered to deceive. Where do you sit? Can we look at Muhammad's 33 days and say this is the kind of man he will be by 2028?
I belong to the too early to judge school.
Too early to judge?
Yeah.
Why?
I think I judge people by two yardsticks, by what I expect of them and by what they expect of themselves.
Okay.
And in this case, I want to use what he expects of himself.
Okay.
He's giving out a 120-day social contract.
Okay.
And there are about 26 or so items in it if I looked at it very well. And I've picked about 6-7 of them, and I judge by that, and then of course I judge by all those other things. As to judge him for whether he is a leader, quote and unquote, as to by what standards I measure leaders. That's what I mean by it's too early to judge.
Too early to judge.
Yeah, you have a 48-month period. We have done only 1 month.
So what about the promises that were to have been fulfilled in a month, and in the way he's gone about it? For example, he said he was going to appoint 60 ministers, and he's reiterated that when he was doing the swearing in of the last batch of ministers, he said he has only 4 deputy ministers to add because he has 56 and he's going to do 60.
I think that's a good sign. I wish he even stuck to the 56 and not the 60.
He promised 60.
Yes, I know, but I will do it a lesser number if we could.
Oh, you think it's doable?
Oh yes. I think this country can be managed with much lesser number. You know, just compare it to other countries which are much bigger in terms of cabinet. And again, I keep saying that the constitution as it's structured envisages 19 cabinet ministers. We have done very well as a nation by distinguishing cabinet from the rest of the ministers, so that we've given ourselves the room. But if you judge by how far we went the last time, up to 123 ministers, then 60 is a very, very big improvement.
So it's bit halved it.
Yes, we must commend him for that. But I'm saying we can do better. The purpose of leadership is to continuously outshine yourself. Yeah.
So you're saying that generally speaking, you judge people by what they say they will do. So will come some of the things he says he would do. So let's start with the good. What has impressed you so far about how Mr. Mahama has conducted himself as a president first?
I think keeping to his word, especially in the time of delivery, has been impressive. Sticking to the 60 is impressive. I mean, 56, I'm saying I wish he wouldn't add the 4. Having said that, setting up a committee, for example, the technical committee on the ECG privatization, that means he intends to consult. There are 2 ways people consult. One is when they do a lot of consultation so they can factor your views into account and make a decision. The other one is when they've already made an uninformed decision and they consult and tell you the decision they've already made. So I'm assuming he's taking the first option, which is my preferred option.
So what's the difference?
When they say they are consulting you, politicians they are consulting you, be very careful as to what the consultation is. So there are 2 ways. They do a lot of consultations, so they make a very informed decision. But there are some who have already made an uninformed decision, and they do a lot of consultation, so you know.
So they want to now bring you along to what they decided.
Yes. So they will say, but you were consulted. It happens all the time. Yeah.
So you prefer the first one?
Yes. I think this is what he is doing in this one.
So when you look at the caliber of the people in that committee, you think he actually wants to know what they think?
I don't know the names by heart, but I know Jabesh Emisata. I happen to be, for disclosure purposes, to have worked on one end of the West Africa Energy Project. Of which he was on another end of that project, the technical side. I looked at policy and legal issues, a very wide project across West Africa. And I think he's the best person to head it. I haven't had occasion to
look at
meet him since, but as you are aware, I issued an op-ed
on that
regarding that. And my goal was to force people like you to bring the issues to the technical issues and prevent politicians from making it an NDC for and an MPP against. I think the way we can help President Mahama and politicians generally is to, as it were, create issues that makes us avoid the political divide that we always fall into. So
let's distill the issues into their bare parts so that we know how we are solving, not just shouting across the table. I think they've used the expression private sector participant instead of privatization. That's the word I've seen.
Those are semantics.
You sure?
Yes. I'm not a fan of semantics. You can call privatization divestiture, as what we did at the time that privatization was very unpopular. You can call it PSP, private sector participation. You can call it PPP. You can call it any. The key thing is we all agree that ECG has been very inefficient, and we think private sector capital injection will be okay. So I don't have any problem with privatizing ECG at all. I'm for. The question is the how, and that is the issues I raise. I raise about 30 issues.
So when you talk about how, you talk about the approach or what the end game is. Because I thought the how meant, are you privatizing by selling the whole thing, or you are giving a component of the operation to somebody to bring capital.
It's just
to
one
manage.
of the 30 or so hydra-headed issues you must deal with.
Okay.
Because we tend to have a situation in this country where we take change as transactional instead of being a strategic. Let me give you an example. And let's take ECG itself to start with. Way back in the 80s, I think between 1986 to about 1993, we carried out a lot of diversity under a World Bank reform, economic recovery program, etc. The goal was that if you turn these statutory corporations into private liability companies, they will become more
automatically.
The ECG owes more now than it did at that time. Now, let's even go beyond ECG to go to the VRAs of this world. And the records are there, you can check. In the 70s all through the early 80s, ECG was, VRA was so well managed that when government of Ghana borrowed money, VRA was the recourse, not the other way around. Yes, it was the best managed hydro project in the world, next to one in California. Today, it's the other way around. Now, what makes these things happen? I once tweeted, as you know, I love tweeting, that a country where enterprises fail both within government hands and in private hands need to examine its mindsets. That's the problem.
It's much deeper than whether it's private or public.
Deeper than whether we call it PSP or. So we do these things without a strategy. We lack strategy all the time, and if you don't have strategy, you are part of somebody else's strategy. So without a strategy as to how we achieve each of these things, we will go into it. And let me give you one political example, which is one of the issues I raised in that paper. We have always done the situation where we allow utility companies to increase tariff. Then when they get to the point we realize that the tariff is making us unpopular, then we say we have absorbed the tariff. Every government has absorbed tariff one way or the other. What it simply means, they are passing it on to Bernard. That's exactly what it means. Then the masses that they absorb it from are, as it were, the burden is taken off them. But by that time, the government has become unpopular already. The question I raise is that what strategy do they go into this? Are they protecting lifeline consumers as separate from the medium and the high end? And are you waiting to absorb it? And if you're absorbing it, is it not adding to public sector debt?
Where now your energy sector debt becomes more. Exactly. So it's like a self.
You can achieve your political goal as well as your technical goal, as well as your economic goal, if you balance out the forces and you recognize these things. The challenge we have is very deep. We underestimate the problem and we overestimate our capacity. So by the time we are confronted with a problem we did not anticipate, then we take knee-jerk reactions like, I have absorbed it. Or the last time we gave 3 months of free water and free electricity to you and I, and things like that, and we come back to pay.
All right, so in terms of some of that, you said the committee is encouraging, and so you are hopeful that the Jabesh team will do a good job.
If the committee is taking the first approach
instead of the second approach.
Yes.
All right. What other committees? Since you're on the matter of committees, there've been about 3 committees. So there's the Gold Board.
That's interesting to me. I mean, a very large committee. I do not understand the size, but it's interesting to me. And it's interesting to me not because of the committee, but because of the concept of the Gold Board.
Okay.
Just remember that we have come from the gold for oil issue to now creating a Gold Board. My understanding of a Gold Board simplicity is that it will be, quote unquote, a cocoa board of a kind.
Yeah.
It's interesting because in a world where you have the BRICS trying to change reliance on the dollar, where the dollar has dropped in terms of reserve currency from 79 to about 40% now, where you have local currencies being used as currency basis for international trade. If you create a Gold Board that begins to think about how that backs the transactions we do, you may be intervening in our FX challenges very well, but of course we are yet to see.
The devil is in the details.
Yes,
the number is very large, which is also what confused me. I don't know whether that's. I think about 30 people.
Yeah. Maybe they are all coming from different expertise, but I think that's for me a good sign.
But is there any paper on the Gold Board that is public to be read?
Not that I have seen, but I'm a strong advocate for creating quasi-sovereign world funds of different types. In the mineral sector, we do have the Mineral Income Fund already. And therefore, I believe there will be a relationship between the Gold Board, whatever they do, and MIF and all that. But let's just imagine if we had the Sovereign Wealth Fund created around cocoa, which has not been talked about yet. I don't know what Dr. Randy Abe is going to do. But these are things that could have absorbed the government with a lot of the so-called external shocks that. But
so we should have done it much earlier.
Yes.
There's also the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund as well. So you are all for long-term.
Yeah, but the Infrastructure Investment Fund has been there for purposes of. I mean, I was part of the people who pushed for it way back in 2011 when I led the draft of the Public Procurement Act. So it was supposed to be three things actually: the Infrastructure Investment Fund, the public, the Project Development Facility, and the Viability Gap Scheme. The last two have not been done. I think I can't leave this without talking about say Tekpe, quote unquote, as a person. I think he's somebody who, in my view, looks at things from a more technical point of view than a political point of view. He created this Infrastructure Investment Fund or implemented it. There was also the Sinking Fund. So with his sitting at the economy table at the presidency, probably some of these ideas that
can gain more traction, and he will be shielded from being a minister with all the problems of having to solve. So he can then. So the technical. That's
an interesting one.
What about the idea of there are two things they wanted to do: an economic forum where they has a committee chaired by Ismail Yamson. I think there's also KY Amwako there and a few other people.
Yeah, interesting committee. I don't know when the economic forum will be held. I'm hoping that the committee will come up with a guideline very soon. What I'm more interested in is something I have not seen. What is the mindset by which we are approaching an economic recovery? That's, I think Mahama faces a very critical test. And that's a critical test I've not heard anybody talk about. Give me a couple of minutes to explain that. He's a bit like Trump, quote and unquote, not in terms of imposing tariffs, etc., but in terms of his return. When a leader who left power returns, he faces a danger. The danger is a choice between whether to focus on a new vision and pull the people along, or to return to the old.
To try and finish what he said he started.
Not necessarily. Remember, a leader gets into power by being pushed by those who support him. And in his support, you have the base, those who are sympathetic for transactional purposes, those who are indifferent, many types of, you have those who in a very polarized political environment like we have, will constantly say, this is what we were doing and this is what MPP did and let's reverse to what we were doing. It may not necessarily be good or bad, but you should not take decisions just because you want to show that what NDC did was necessarily better than what MPP did.
So it should be devoid of emotion.
The decision should be based on whether it achieves your new vision. So there is that struggle between moving forward and going back to the previous. It's not, in my view, in his mind. It is in the fight between, let me call it, the masses or the mob of the party and those who may be leading the party. What I have not seen yet is what I would call the theoretician of the party. A person who, as it were, anchors everything that they want to do in one central place. In that case, it doesn't matter what you want to do. Now, I gave this basis in order to comment on the economic forum. If the economic forum is based on very traditional neoliberal approach to economy, then it doesn't matter what we do. The fundamentals will still be there. It doesn't mean we must move away from neoliberalism. No. It means we must be very pragmatic as to what is good for Ghana in the context of everything that's happening around the world. So I've not been able to delve into the theory and philosophical thinking of the people who are in the committee. So again, it's early days yet. Let's look at what they will do.
That's a very interesting point, actually, because in a sense, you want to know what philosophy underpins the economic recovery.
Exactly.
And at this point, it's not clear.
It's not clear.
At this point, it's not clear.
I hear of reset, which is fine, but exactly how are we going about it? It's very easy to fall for the importance of slogans without going into the details, and that is why for a president you always need somebody around him who draws attention to the deep theories behind this. And it doesn't mean you must be theoretical. Let me give you an example. In 2021, one of the things that was said over and over in the budget was building back better.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's with you or one of the stations, some of us like talking a lot. I asked exactly what were we building back better. You see, because building back better was a Biden slogan. Yeah, and he wanted to build back better. And America that was losing its infrastructure, and he was trying to drive an infrastructure plan. Were we supposed to be building forward in Ghana or be building back what we didn't have?
So we probably just adopted, but it sounded nice.
Yeah, so when I hear reset, I'm waiting to see exactly what are the core components of which we are resetting. That's why I said it's early days yet. But
the other point I need to make is that, it looks like this committee is supposed to now organize a forum to bring ideas together, which is a bit worrying in the sense that you've said that there are two ways of forming committees. You decide what you want to do and bring people to tell them, or you can bring people to say, what do you think I should do? And I think this committee is like the first one, because it looks like they are saying, let's have a roadmap to bring different, because don't forget, in opposition, before the IMF program, Bahama said to Akufo-Addo to organize a national economic forum.
He did one himself.
Exactly.
With the PV Obeng.
So it appears he's trying to bring everybody together to the table. But I'm asking, is it not too late for that?
I think it's a good thing. Like I said, again, timing is everything, which is why I worry about strategy. In my view, that should be done before the budget is ready. That is why I say I don't know what date is being done. If it's done before the budget is ready, then the suggestions will feed into the budget. But if it is done after the budget, it means you will have channeled the cost. And if I heard the news right, we are going to start talking to IMF. I will have thought that we will
have talked to ourselves to decide what we want. So there's pressure on the. To be fair, budget is March, sometime in March. We are in the second week of February. I am told that the committee wants to finish their work before February ends and have some at least engagement before budget. So it means a very compressed time.
But what will go into the budget will then be maybe the committee's views. Again, I don't have the program.
No, they are going to have a meet. They are going to
do the consultation.
Do a forum.
So the consultation will feed into the budget.
That's what they are saying.
But anyway, all is not lost. If the budget comes out in March, what it will happen is in the media review.
Then they can.
Yeah. What I'm a bit worried about is if we re-engage IMF, or we have to re-engage IMF, and we make commitments, then it's more difficult to make the changes in a media review. Yeah.
It's more rigid. Yeah. Some people.
And Bernard, before I leave this issue about the quote and unquote, the theory is the best word I can use, but I'm not a theoretical person, as you know.
Yeah.
It's quite important because the approach, the budget itself, will determine, and we should not get carried away. African countries always go through 5 to 7 year cycles. If you miss it, you will be overestimating your capacity. After every 5 to 7 years, we go back to IMF in debt. Zambia, which was doing very well now with its currency, etc., just 3 years ago, is definitely having a lot of crisis. Hichilema is getting, very, very unpopular on the ground. It's similar to what happened in Ghana in the last election. So you must watch that cycle, and you must decide how do we take the decisions that does not push us back to that very cycle that we always get. What are the fundamental changes we need to make? Those are the things.
But the problem is, the kind of things you need to do may not bear fruit in an election cycle. And the problem with our politics is that you are right. Every three of
no, you can achieve both. I think that's the problem, and I can convince any politician can achieve both. You can achieve electoral success and still achieve fundamental changes. It is when you make a decision, or you have a mindset which tells you cannot achieve both, then you focus on only one.
Then you have to be at that whatever event they are doing. Because I was going to suggest that one of the reasons we do this back and forth is because the main basis of our economic revenues are tied to commodities, which are quite cyclical in their movements. So whether it's gold or oil, one or two decisions in Washington or Europe or Beijing can affect.
I agree.
And so the nature of gold, the nature of cocoa, the nature of even oil means that your economy itself is yo-yoing.
No, but that's
as if you depend on it as the main anchor.
But that is if you think that is the only way you continue living, and in that way, that case you don't have to worry. We like quoting Singapore and the Malaysias of this world and all the rest. Singapore didn't have commodities. Malaysia had commodities. Both of them have, in different ways, managed to change their economies. So the question is, how do we, and again, if you have time, we can go into it. Why should we be depending only on commodities, and why should the decision in Washington change our cycle? And what timing are we in? Trump has just imposed a 25% on aluminium, and he's targeting Canada in that. But we export alumina, so definitely that's going to affect us in one way or the other. So in the midst of all this, how do we, for example, use aluminium industry as a multiplier effect by value addition locally? And we already have the law. So if you want to move away from that, then you will realize that privatization of electricity, for example, will have an effect on your ability to do downstream aluminium production and have a multiplier effect on the economy. And I've said over and over, studies show that that's $1 trillion economy waiting in a 50-year life cycle. But let me give you one more thing that we haven't talked about: the 24-hour economy. Now, there are those who ridicule it. There are those who praise it. Again, the devil is in the details. The point is this country has a huge productivity issue. You are an entrepreneur, I don't need to tell you that. Now, in my view, the 24-hour economy is a productivity strategy. It is how they structure it to drive productivity. If you don't use that to galvanize productivity across, and you cannot galvanize productivity without stimulating demand. Demand is consciously stimulated. I mean, and I like giving basic examples. By the way, you held this interview at the wrong time. You should have been holding it at the back to the village where after I have tasted
you drink some pito to suit your throat. Forgive me.
On my way here, I heard you talking about all that kind of. You are stimulating demand for local food.
100%.
And I can tell you some of these things we can do on a national scale. If you stimulate demand and you match it with a 24-hour economy, then you are increasing supply and you are increasing productivity. That is what you do in a country that has got a low productivity. I mean, otherwise, all you go to these IMF things, you come with those technical ways, and I try to shy away from them. Debt to GDP ratio, tax to GDP ratio, and the famous one, fiscal consolidation. All those ways, at the end of the day, will bring us back to debt in 5 years.
Some people think that those are the, as they say in Tree, you hear the here and say here the fata. So essentially, it's like the fundamental issue is you need to get some basics on the ground, and then you build. Basics? So, for example, the basic is that your revenue is working well. So your tax policy makes sense, and you're able to collect it. Your wastage in government is reduced. So, like, they are basically saying these kinds of things you do with the IMF are to lay the foundation upon which any diversification ideas will be built upon.
Again, let me emphasize.
Playing the devil's advocate.
Yeah, let me emphasize that the countries like Singapore we copy also went to IMF. But after 20 years of IMF, they moved away. Right?
Correct.
We have been going to IMF since we rejected the 66 one. After that, we've gone 18 times. Right? Now, a country that goes to IMF for all the 67 or so years has a problem. We actually have a problem. So the issue is not going to IMF. The issue is not recognizing that we can't go every 5 years to be disciplined. What are the IMF programs? Just to discipline us. Bernard, let me go technical. I mean, I hate going technical. When you say fiscal consolidation, what does it really mean? Simply two things: reduce your expenditure and increase your revenue. Now, GRA has said that they have so far audited only 38% of all companies. What about the 62?
They are waiting.
Now, if I estimate there are about 30,000 companies approximately on ORC's register, and the 62 have never been audited. When you say you are increasing debt to GDP ratio for fiscal consolidation purposes, what it means is you are taxing me more.
Because the other 62% are having a free
that's
ride.
What it is. Now, if you have a country where only 4 million people have got bank account and 18 million are your voters register,
clearly you have a problem.
You have a problem. If you can't bring those outside into the banking system, you are not taxing them. It doesn't matter how much
you consolidate. It's a false. You don't have the right data.
So you can impress IMF by increasing the tax to GDP ratio.
You have not dealt with the real issue.
By taxing DOD more and Bernard more, but you have not dealt with Caleb and the rest. Who I know you are paying taxes.
No, I think that's
not paying taxes. That's the point I'm making. And those issues, we don't need IMF to do that. Those are fundamental issues that we need to discuss how to do it. Yeah.
Last point on that, when you look at and back to your question of the theoretician, because I also struggle with that, and I give you an example. So I'm looking at the appointment. I'm asking myself, who is the anchor economic mind here? And pardon me. So you have a finance minister who obviously was a deputy before, who was a ranking member of the committee, who now has his PhD in, I think, finance or economics. You have Setekpe, who's from the accounting side, practical guy, IMF leaning as your advisor. Then you've made Guzitano your advisor on 24-hour economy and accelerated export development. Then you've made Ismail Yamson the chair of this economic management thing. And Ismail was GIPC board chair under Mills. Obviously, former Unilever chairs a lot of boards. So in my head, these are the people: Ismail Yamson, the Minister of Finance, Tekbe, and possibly Guzitano. Now, the question is, when we bring these four people together, is there a certain economic philosophy they have which drives the way we think about our economy?
I don't look at it that way. I mentioned Setekwe because I think he's displayed during his period that he listens, he consults a lot, and he always is ready to put in place the kind of things that I think prevents us from being, as it were, overtaken by external shocks. His sinking fund, for example, and his Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund are examples to cite. But that is different from the question you are asking. The question you are asking is, there a central direction that I expect from the president himself. I mean, and whether he has a theoretician behind him or whatever, because it doesn't matter what advice a person is giving. If that person is not deep-seated belief in that advice, he may or may not take that advice, or maybe pretend to take it. So over the period, it's very clear that he wants us to move forward. That's what I hear him say every day. That's why I said that he sits in a very tight position between moving forward with a vision and being pulled back by those who.
So you see that. So you see, there's a tension between, and not just for this government, the people in the party who have expectations about what they expect to be done, and then possibly the leaders of the party who have a vision that they have to achieve within that short time. And if the leader is not able to distinguish between those two forces or place their expectations in the right context, he may fail.
And the leader should be able to decide how to pull along those who want to pull him back. It's very important. You have to pull along those who have to pull him back, because if a leader, and again, this is something I've said before, if a leader is unable to get everybody to buy into his vision, he's on a lonely walk. He's just on a lonely walk to nowhere. Look, the first time I went to Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew was alive, and he was driving the Smile Singapore. Everybody in the street knew what Smile Singapore was about. Again, I'm waiting for 24-hour economy. I expect 24-hour economy, and it's one of the things I believe I will issue an op-ed on. I believe it should stimulate demand in such a way that everybody should be able to participate in it, if that is the vision. If you don't bring all of us along, then it becomes just a party thing. It's not only party people who voted for Mahama. A lot of people who voted for Mahama who are not necessarily party people. So if we need to carry the whole nation along, and for me, that is what a leader does. So at the end of the day, Bernard, if we don't take care, and politicians fall for this, when you say generate employment, what exactly does it mean? You can do that through YEA, the likes of NAPCOP or whatever it is they call, and get people to go and queue at the stadium, etc. That's one way to do it. Another way is to say, Citi, what is your staff strength? How many PAYEs did you pay last year for these people? How many people did you pay Senate for? And how are you going to increase your number of staff for this period? If you can do this, you are paying, instead of corporate tax of 25%, you are paying 22%. And there will be 1,000 of cities. These people, each employing 3, generate 3,000 jobs. I don't need to queue at YEA.
Wow.
And I can give you several options of discriminatory corporate taxes that can drive employment.
So that you are telling the company that we want you to employ people.
Yes.
We'll take money from there, and the reward we give you is to say you will enjoy a lower corporate tax because you are helping to drive employment.
I spoke to one of the top NDC people I happened to have bumped into in a talk I gave. I mean, she was speaking to me on the side, and I talked about the possibility that if you want to create a women's bank, for example, good or bad, it's entirely, but I want to know how the lending will be structured.
Good.
what happens at the end of the day if the women are borrowing at the same rate that the other banks are?
What's the point?
What if I can use the capitalization to say that if you're a woman-led enterprise, then I'm actually underwriting half of your loss provision.
So you incentivize them.
Yes.
Then there's an outcome
and
beyond.
there must be evidence that you have actually increased number of staff.
Wow.
You know, there's a hard work that we need to do. Because it's very easy. Let me give you an example. It's very easy to fall for theories. Every month, or is it every 3 months, Bank of Ghana will hold a monetary policy committee. I don't pay attention to those
announce
things. Announce a number and drop. I am happier with the news I heard this morning that the government took a decision to reject treasury bills oversubscribed.
Thank you.
And then treasury bills will drop.
That's more consequential.
It's actually practical. Why? Because it forces people to invest in long-term funding and equities, and the stock exchange then increases. Then we find other sources of increasing our investments and as it were being able to increase. So if I do that, now if monetary policy, Bank of Ghana drops the rate or increases the rate, it doesn't really matter to me that much. Why? Because the real cost of borrowing by the banks is loss provision.
Yes, sir.
Every bank will tell you that their biggest component of their pricing is how much the losses are, which is the assumption that you won't pay, Caleb will pay. If that is the case, why don't I underwrite loss provision?
Impairment.
And because of the impairment, then guarantee that if you're a woman-led enterprise, you can get this amount of money and show me the job. If you show me the job, then the next year you get the next installment. That way, you liberalize the job creation. Look, do you know there have been, I don't want to accuse any government, but there have been past situations where as many as 600 people were sent to a government entity at once and say employ them.
Just like that.
Yes.
To do what?
And you go to the place, some of them don't have seats to sit. And that's the way we call generating employment.
So you think that there must be a lot more careful thinking about how to even use tax policy to incentivize some of our longer real sector objectives.
This country
like
can
employment.
be turned around. Bernard, I won't say it on there. If anybody sits down with me, I can show him where to generate billions for this country, which is sitting and
without raising tax rates, without making any unnecessary.
Yeah, it's there.
Last point here. When you look at the way some of the president's appointments were received by his party supporters, and the fact that he has stuck to them. Let me give you a classic example. Since you're on the GRA, so the former GRA managing partner, KPMG was
senior country partner.
Yes. Now you and I know that KPMG do a lot of work with the GRA, and then when this man was appointed, technically it sounds like a sound appointment. Politically, there was a lot of. In fact, people were even demonstrating there. Somehow they weathered that storm. What does that say about the determination of the man? Of course, we are told that the guy is a supporter of the party. But for me, a position like GRA, if I had my way, of course, having the right political colors helps. But because of the technical nature of the work there, I think the technocratic consideration should be higher.
I saw it differently.
Tell me.
I know Anthony Sapon. I don't know him to be a partisan person, so I cannot say whether he's MPP or NDC or whatever. But I mean,
now they say it's NDC. They even came to show the things he did for NDC.
Oh, okay.
So it means he did from you.
Okay, I didn't know that.
We all didn't know.
Antiama's son.
Me too. Apparently, I even did events with them. I didn't know he was from any party.
Okay,
but the proof was that he's Antiama's son.
That's what they said, but we don't know who Antiama is.
Who is Antiama?
His mother.
Okay, all right. Okay, so having said that, what that revealed to me is that there is an intra-party feud. There's absolutely no way. It's very clear. I think some of us, we've been around for a very long time. This is not possible for a president to make an appointment to have partyful soldiers demonstrate over and over again, try to block somebody inside the party powerful enough was not to mobilize the people of that. So it's a situation of somebody has the authority to make an appointment, and that person controls the mob. That's how I see it.
That's actually a very powerful way of seeing it. So it's beyond ordinary foot soldiers saying they don't know him, because they had to have been mobilized.
But do the foot soldiers know everybody he's appointing? Why that particular appointment? Clearly somebody in the party. So I think the intra-party
but this goes back to the point you made about leaders need to
rally the people,
but also align his vision.
Yeah.
So it's a classic example.
Satisfy the base at the same time. It's not an easy thing to do.
So in this case, he's done the right thing by sticking to the guy.
I'm again, having seen the guy's policy, I'm very.
Yes. No, but of course you know him from the past.
Oh, I mean, he's a very
technically he's
very competent person.
Yeah.
I know Anthony Sapon very well. He's a very competent person. So I'm assuming on the basis of that competence. But you see, Bernard, it's not as easy as that. A former minister in a very sensitive, well, let me mention a former finance minister. In your previous government, I won't tell you which of the two. I had occasion to ask a question to him at a dinner. Do you understand the public sector very well? The answer I got, I didn't quite like it. You see, being good in KPMG is not the same as understanding the public sector. And I'll give you an example. When you take power, and somebody says, for example, I want to cap statutory expenditure. It sounds like a good policy. It will be people who actually want to be the one who write the checks, because writing the checks give them enough power. So it's capping statutory policy may sound good, like it brings money to the center. But deep thinking about it will tell you that you don't need money at the center. Every budget check you are writing to pay is actually liability you are holding. You are better off letting the liability go. That is the reason.
So bringing it to the center increases the burden on the center.
It increases the burden. In fact, allowing the airport taxes to go was how Terminal 3 was funded, I think, under NDC's previous regime. But when you cap statutory expenditure, then it means you are responsible for the debt recourse. So if you don't understand the public sector and the psyche, and you can't change the public sector, it is possible that the public sector can even undermine you.
So his challenge is to understand where he's going.
No, what I'm saying is that he is competent, he is good
in his field from where he's coming from.
I think his two challenges are: one, to broaden the base of the taxes so that
more people are paying.
More people are paying. The other one is also to find new sources and make sure that we can increase the revenue.
Okay.
What I want him to avoid is to be increasing revenue based on targets set by IMF.
Okay.
I do not understand how we plan our whole life
around what IMF says.
Around what IMF is saying. As a nation, we should know the targets, and those targets should also include reducing government expenditure.
Wonderful.
It's not just increasing it only. So
it's 9 minutes past 9. My guest is David Ofosu-Dorte, who's the senior partner at I almost said KPMG at AB and David, which is a Pan-African law firm. We are happy to take your comments because today we basically thinking about 32 or 3 days of Mahama's government. What have we learned so far? He's said some very important things that for him, he looks at a leader from what he expects of himself as much as what he himself expects of the leader. And the leader's way of showing us that is the kind of people he appoints. And then he also asks a question about the theory behind the economic review that we want to do. A couple of things to just mention quickly. 2 other sectors I know you are concerned about. In the built environment sector, 2 things have happened. I watched the vetting of the roads minister, who himself is an architect, and he said they were going to bring back the road tolls, but not in the same form. And I think last week they did a call, they call it a call for proposals for ways in which we can get the road toll revenue without causing traffic. That was number 1. Number 2, the previous administration, still within the road sector, had merged the highways, the feeder roads and neighbor roads into the roads authority. Some staff did not agree. So this minister has suspended that and he wants to consult further. I know that before you became prominent in law, you were actually quite good in mobility and urban movement. So this is your area. Again, from the first few moves of the roads ministry in the built environment generally, what are your thoughts around how he's approaching this, and what are some of the things he needs to look out for in the road sector in particular and transport generally?
So that's a difficult question for me, and let me explain why. So first, in respect of the Act 1118, I was a consultant for the policy framework for Act 1118. That's the one of bringing all the agencies together. This is pursuant to a session I did for urban roads where the former Minister for Transport was there. So I gave them the framework for that. Subsequently, they carried on their own consultation, and I mean, I heard a law had been passed somewhere, etc. So to that extent, as to the minister's reason for suspending the implementation, I am not so sure. As to whether personally I think consolidating the ministry or the agencies is a good thing, things are not necessarily good or bad. It depends on the intention of doing it and how you do it. I am very focused on how we can deliver road projects without recourse to public sector debt. And by the way, I had occasion to be at a session where the minister was just last Thursday.
This new minister?
Yes, this new minister. Thursday, I was in a session where he was, and he himself mentioned that the government needs to deliver things without based on the public sector debt. And I think there are a lot of ideas that a lot of us can push for it to be done. And some of these things are known. So that is one. Secondly, the question of toll. I heard you made that statement a couple of times. There's even a news report on it. Again, the devil is a bit in the detail. It's a very good idea. But Bernard, I think you are one of the people who have caused that problem.
Me? What about that?
Yes, let me explain. So when the toll was removed the last time, there was a lot of talk about the traffic at the toll booth. So and you were a supporter of removing the traffic. So I believe that is why the minister wants to do it without the traffic.
Yeah.
Good idea. It's the how. You can do that through shadow tolling, and this is my area. By the way, you can do that through shadow tolling. The challenge with shadow tolling is that if you are doing that, then those vehicles which are not resident in Ghana, you have to find a different way of letting them pay. You can do that through still have toll plazas and have e-gates where people just drive through, etc. What is missing in the system is a toll policy that we decide exactly how do we do the tolling, because in the absence of that, you have found a situation where, for the purposes of e-levy, we remove those tolls. I was completely against the
without going through parliament.
Yes, that's why I was talking about traffic, because the traffic thing took away the argument about the removal of the toll. So I'm for bringing it back. I'm for bringing it back without inconveniencing the public. I'm for maximizing the collection from road tolls, but that is just the smaller of the problem. You must use road tolls to leverage the development of roads without recourse to government. If you don't do that, I mean, you can build a lot of the arterial roads in Ghana, Accra Kumasi, Accra Takrade, Aflao. You can build a lot of these arterial roads without recourse to government debt. The challenge is that when we structure it and we do indirect recourse, it ends up being added to our debt stock. And that's why I keep saying, let us know the how. So, the minister's policy is a very good one. I will hope that...
I wanted to elaborate on. You said we can do a lot of arterial routes if we get the right framework for tolling. So, are you looking PPPs? Is that what you're suggesting? That maybe you pick some roads which are useful?
No, PPP is simply under Act 1039, a terminology where private sector absorbs a substantial part of the risk, and over a long term. But if you structure a PPP in a way, and again, go back to ECG, it's the same thing, whether you call it PSP or whatever, they are all in the same category. And let's say that you say if the tolling is, let's say, 10 cedis, right? And there is a viability gap, because to make the toll too viable for the private sector, the toll should be 20. Now, this is election year, and let's assume it is 2027, and NDC says, no. Stick to 10. What you have done is that you've created a viability gap of 10. And that 10 difference
becomes a government
debt. And if they come to me as a lawyer, I will write what we call direct and indirect force majeure, a long list of 4 pages of clauses. And one of them will say, when government decides to bring the toll below the commercial tariff, I go to government. So it is a PPP, all right. It will look the facade PPP, but the recourse is to GOG. And IMF immediately asks it to your public sector debt. I'm going to say something which will surprise you. In 2006, I had the privilege of leading Ghana's Compact 1 negotiations. It's public now. Under Compact 1, we agreed to increase the tolls by 10-fold. Yes, 2006. Check the records.
You were part of that team.
Yes. I led the negotiations 10-fold.
Immediately over a period?
No, over a period of 5 years.
Okay.
We didn't even double it. Right? And it has stayed the same since that period. So there is the intention and the political willingness. I advised one of the metropolitan assemblies in Ghana where they imposed a certain type of fee-fixing resolution in that assembly and made a lot of money. In the election year, the consultant implementing it was asked to halve it. That in the there were people being prosecuted. And you know what the metropolitan chief executive said? Election year, I am prosecuting NIPA. Yeah. I'm not kidding you. So if you have a situation where you can't prosecute people in the election year. So if you have a situation where we do PPP, PSP, it doesn't really matter. If the political will and the structure is not there, we will recourse to government debt. And that's what I'm saying. We can do a lot of these rules without GOG debt. It is how you structure it.
So it means we should watch that space.
Yes.
Because but you said something that's worrying me now. You are saying you need a tolling policy. Now, if you are asking for people to send in expression of interest when we don't know the overriding tolling policy, that means that
you don't necessarily need to write the tolling policy complete before
you should know it.
Yes, you should have an idea what you want to do. That's why I say I support the minister's angle. You should have an idea. But Bernard, again, let me mention, we tend to be not comprehensive as a people in our planning. When you want to toll any road in Ghana, it looks like a Ghana thing. Remember, there's Abidjan-Lagos corridor, which is driving the new traffic in West Africa. And if you look at the trajectory of that road, a large part of it veers off some of the places where a large part of the toll will be. That's one example. Two, you may be surprised that whilst government wants to toll and increase money, somebody will come up with a beautiful idea that, for example, I want to do a sky train, and maybe they want to take let's say a train from Medina to. If you do that, that means that you are moving the masses onto the train. I'm not saying good or bad. It means you are going to lose road.
So you need to think about all things.
You need to think about all these things, and having looked at this comprehensively, you now say, oh, okay, this is the tool. There will be no gap, or there will be a gap, etc. And this is how we do it.
So just to defend myself, since you blame me for
the traffic argument,
give me 2 minutes. So a lot of times we look at things from a revenue perspective. The government needs money. My argument is that productivity. If people don't work, government can't make money.
I agree.
Now, if a lot of your working class live in Kaswa and they spend 3 hours to get to town to work, they are demotivated, they are not happy, they will be unproductive. So no matter how much you get from that toll, when they get to work, their inefficiency also goes to revenue. So I'm also saying, I'm like you, I'm also saying that don't look at it just from the angle of saying, oh, we have to raise money. Don't inconvenience people to a point where, because don't forget, the point is not roads, the point is mobility. What you're actually looking for is not to build a road. You want people to be able to move from one place to another and work.
Bernard, give me a minute to explain something to you.
So at least you agree with me?
Yeah, I agree with you. More than agree.
Good.
But let me explain. And this is the challenge with our thinking. Way back, I led what is called the mobility needs of the urban poor study for the World Bank.
You see?
It was a very comprehensive study. I built a database on that. And in that, I can tell you where all the poor people work.
Thank you.
Where they go to, what we call origin and destination studies, etc., etc. Comprehensive database. And match it to income. So I can tell you the transport component of a person's expenditure. This goes into the CPI and all that. Nobody did anything with that data, even though we borrowed money from the World Bank, which we are still paying. Now, one of the things that you do with that is to increase mass transport options. And two, to use non-motorized travel. Now, as I told you to give me a minute. Pursuant to that study, the World Bank financed a 50-kilometer bicycle path around Accra. I'm sure you don't know that there is a 50-kilometer bicycle path around Accra.
News to me.
Yes, it is. It starts from the Nima gutter, the big gutter around Nima, come all the way through Asylum down. These things were designed, implemented, marked. During the election year, people were parking there, and the people, after having been moved away from the street, we call them back.
So once election comes, common sense
to come and occupy. So people park. All the markings are gone. We are still paying the money. That is one. Lord. Two, it was as a result of that study that the so-called Ayalolo and GAPTI was done. I wrote the GAPTI legal framework.
My God.
So the GAPTI was done so that for the poor, the problem is not letting the poor queue, it's giving them mass options. So you have a dedicated lane for the poor. The people who queue are you and I who have got money and we buy cars. We should be paying higher. If we have money, then you have to pay.
So if GAPTI were working, even if the toll was there, we the people who decide that will not use mass transport
will pay. Let me tell you how GAPTI didn't work. And that will also surprise you. 2 reasons why GAPTI didn't work. One was simply when government changed, GAPTI was stalled. The whole terminal was built at Adenta, and from 2017 it didn't work for about the next 4 years or so. Yeah, it's as simple as that. That is one. Two, you have a situation where the assemblies in Ghana at the time the GAPTI framework was being done were 13. When governments decide to divide us into districts and regions, we have no idea what it creates. The 13 assemblies signed the agreement. By the time it was being implemented, Greater Accra assemblies were 27.
Pizzification problems.
The additional assemblies had no idea what gravity was. Now, in Greater Accra, you cannot leave this place and say you are going to, let's say, Kaswa and cross the border.
You pass through five assemblies.
Pass through 5 assemblies. So the recommendations in the studies and the legal framework is what we call the greater metropolis approach, where you treat, even though they are different assemblies, treat them as a metropolis. But each person comes and divide the country, the districts. You know, just going to Tetekwashi, your right side is Ladoma. Your left side is well gone. Then behind you is AMA.
Then there's also Teshi.
And all those things. And we think that we are just dividing this and creating mayors and all the rest. Some of them who are absolutely clueless on what city management is about. So we end up undermining it. Look, the World Bank has money, right, to solve some of these problems, which we have, as it were, killed to borrow. I don't know whether we have borrowed it, but the framework is destroying what we borrow. So we have a large part of money we borrow, paying for, and it did not achieve the results. So yes, I agree with you that we should not be wasting time at the queue. But why can't we have mass transit?
So that I would have dealt with it.
Yes.
So David, again, if I hear you well, I try to summarize. You've said 2 things. Generally, that strategy is very critical, because if you don't have a long-term strategy, it doesn't matter what you do, you will not succeed. Then number 2, you're saying the leader has many things to meet: the political, the economic or financial. If he does not learn how to balance the two, election year, foot soldiers, it will always undermine good sense. So the leader has to be strong. Okay, so let's come back to this president. He has a very strong mandate. This is the first president who has close to, 57 is a big percentage to win, because his opponent got 41%.
Yeah, nonsense in Groma.
No, I know. I'm saying it's big.
Yeah.
2/3 parliament is pretty strong.
Yeah.
Now, with that level of power, should he not be in a position to... And number 3, he doesn't have a re-election. So whilst I know that can affect him because some of the people in his party may not be happy, does that not give him a mandate to push through and solve all this election year nonsense that undermines all the things you've been talking about?
Absolutely, he has. If I were him, I would be adopting what is called a majoritarian approach.
Okay.
A majoritarian approach is the type that Chandra Modi has used in India to push India forward, where until recently he has such a huge majority in the Indian parliament that he pushed his policies through. So yes, and I think that's what this president has the chance.
You mean good things?
Good things. Including for me, and I've seen the Constitutional Amendment Committee. I think one of the things I would be very happy if he would do it is to remove that part of the Constitution which requires him to appoint ministers from Parliament. Because why are we appointing so many ministers from Parliament? I have a problem with that. That is one of the reasons why presidents' hands are tied. Because they are in 2 places at the same time, and we politicize everything. I mean, those are some of the little things in the Constitution I will change. Otherwise, I'm not there.
I want to ask you a final question, but I want to read some comments first. Caleb will read some comments. Now, my last question has to do with the US AID angle, and I'm not even talking US AID specifically.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is that what it means. So the US president is quite protectionist. It's very easy to see this, and he's even decided that USAID staff will be recalled on leave. Now, from the consumer side, that agency is one of the agencies that does a lot of work in health, in education, in agric and agribusiness. So a lot of people in the short term are worried about the effect of this. But typical David, I know you can see some positive even in that. So what I want you to deal with is, with the kind of way Trump is going, what opportunity does it present to John Mahama geopolitically to reset Ghana? And number 2, the USAID possible closure. What opportunity does it give us to say, well, let's build capacity? I know it will cause a disruption temporarily. So give me some thoughts on that.
Let me deal with the worrying part first, because I'm very worried about it for our health sector only in particular. I mean, the aid and all those things is the health sector. In our health sector, USAID is so intertwined, very deeply intertwined, that we may have challenges with maybe supporting some payment for medication in some places. I'm sure you remember some years ago there were challenges about whether we had vaccines for the childhood killer diseases and
even
all those.
now people in the north say the supply chain may be disrupted because of this. So you're correct.
But that tells me what we have done to ourselves. How do you have a nation whose health sector is so completely or largely reliant on aid or support from another country?
Critical health.
Isn't health so important that we should spend more money on it and less money on other areas and do the necessary environment to so for me this is an opportunity, first USAID in general, for us to take charge of what is important to us, and I don't think there's anything more important than health. Secondly, I think Trump is giving us a second opportunity. We missed the first opportunity.
So is it an opportunity?
Trump is a big opportunity.
It's not a threat, it's an opportunity.
Not at all. The man doesn't care so much about Africa. He didn't invite Africa to even his inauguration. So where you have a situation where the person doesn't care, it is a chance for our leaders to realize that a day will come when somebody wouldn't care. I mean, the only time he's talking about Africa is when you have the. By the way, remember I predicted Trump's return, so it's not about not liking him. It's a reality.
I know. You don't care about us.
Now about South Africa, he is talking about stopping their aid because of what do you call it? Because of
some land issue. I mean, completely misinformed.
And when you look at the amount of money that is taken away, it's about 613 million. Somebody said he is sure one African head of state can give them that money. So I think Africa has another opportunity with Trump. There are two things we can do, and Ghana should be one of them. One is to realize the things we need to do for ourselves. Two, more important, I see Trump as a deal maker. I think Ghana can put 2 or 3 African countries together on things that come to our advantage
and tell him,
that we want to have a meeting, want to have a deal. He will be happy to. I made a deal and I gave them. And there are a lot of things we can. I can point out.
Actually, the Japanese Prime Minister did exactly this because before he went, he was very weak in his country, and there was a whole concern about the steel. He actually went, and Trump felt he's won, but the Japanese got a lot from him. Just by going, shaking hands, and
he wants to be seen to make a deal. But we can't do that without doing it with other African nations. I can't go into the detail, but there are major significant strategies that this government can do if they take the deal approach, and it will change the dynamics of this country.
Let's stay with Africa briefly. Nigeria wants to join BRICS, and
they are already a BRICS partner.
Yes, I mean full membership. I mean the current president has appointed somebody to the Sahel 3, and we are told now by the Minister of Foreign Affairs that he wants to bring them back into ECOWAS. So I sense this president still sees ECOWAS as the main playing field. Now my worry is that in ECOWAS, Nigeria is a big player, and by they now courting BRICS, they're probably charting their own path. Number 2, the Francophone countries and France have sort of divorced in a way, so there's a lot of chaos there. So where should Ghana be looking? Is it Kenya? Is it South Africa? Who are our key strategic partners in Africa now?
There are 3 things that we need to look at in analyzing this. One is the geostrategy. Now, I think Nigeria or ECOWAS made a mistake by appointing Tinubu as chair of ECOWAS a month after he took office as president. I think that was a mistake.
Too early.
It was too early. And that his statement that led to the Sahel 3 countries pulling out eventually, his statement about invading them and all those things, I think that was an error which we are still paying for. However, the other thing we need to look at is what has been the result of that. The result of that is that Sahel coming together, and we can't do without them. For Ghana in particular, which takes me to my second point, Ghana, because we are a route to the landlocked countries, and that's a major market, it affects how much cargo that goes through our port in Teba. It affects how much investments we attract in the so-called growth corridors. So I'm happy that there is an appointment of Begbololate, if I recall, as the Sahel Court. But instead of focusing on bringing them back into ECOWAS, which I think will be very challenging, they've issued their own passports from what I hear.
So you think it's better for us to relate to them?
Yes, I think we can relate to everybody. But there's a third thing I think have gone almost unnoticed. Ghana has stopped recognizing the Sahel, Sahrawi Republic.
Western Sahara,
that's that they call them the Sahrawi Republic. Now, depending on who is sitting at AU, we are either 55 countries or 54 countries. If Morocco is in the place, we say 54 because they don't recognize Western Sahara. Why did we stop recognizing them? It means we want to do more trade with Morocco, which probably not a very bad thing. But then one geostrategic decision Ghana can make is whether we want to support Morocco's incursion or attempt to join ECOWAS. Morocco tried to join ECOWAS. From a geostrategic point of view, I think probably Nigeria didn't like it. I may be wrong. That was my view.
Probably, yeah.
Yes, but with ECOWAS reshaping, should we rethink the Morocco approach? And what are the advantages we get in that? So, stopping the recognition of Sahel, of the Western Sahara is fine. But I will negotiate and see what we get from Morocco in bringing them back into.
Although there will be pressure in the NDC because some of the philosophers in NDC are angry about the decision.
Western Sahara.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's it's not even clear.
Again, that is why I said that I want to know the philosophy behind it. So when I talk about I'm not seeing the theoretician. Not
we want to know what's the end game.
Exactly.
What thinking goes into the decision.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Having said that, you mentioned BRICS.
Yeah.
I think it's about time we applied also to join BRICS.
Even with our 30 million.
Yes. I mean, look, we are underrating BRICS. The whole thing about the world is the size of your production capacity. Again, which is why I say I like 24-hour economy, provided it can be turned into a stimulant for production to solve our productivity problem. Now, your production capacity as a nation is what is very important. People talk about debt to GDP ratio too much. It is not about how much percentage, it's about how much you can produce.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you take the BRICS countries together, currently they are producing about 35% of the entire global output.
Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa.
That's significant. So if you have other countries sliding up, the lineup is now to about 21. If we join them, we get a few advantages. You're joining the bulk, and now I'm not a believer in semantics. This so-called global south that they keep referring to. We are the global majority. That's exactly
because once you add Malaysia, Indonesia, Nigeria, Turkey to
that's
BRICS,
the largest part of the
yeah, that's the world.
And Indonesia has just joined. We are talking about the global majority. So why are we staying out? We should be applying, but it doesn't prevent us from continuing our relationship with the West. It doesn't.
And you think Trump actually presents a good opportunity for us to consolidate because now he's doing America first, so we also have to do Ghana
and
first.
make a deal.
Absolutely,
a deal that enables us go for BRICS.
All right,
take advantage of his second term as well.
Wow, David, the thing about you is that we can go all day, but you're also a very busy man. So when I get to, I don't want you to leave. But if I let you say everything today, what will you say tomorrow?
I'm sure you didn't intend any pun.
None at all. Now I will let David go, but the thing with David is he tweets quite frequently. So follow him on Twitter. What's your Twitter handle?
O.T.
And these are random stimulating thoughts just to get you to think. And then every now and again he speaks at programs. I know he'll probably be speaking at the Swedro conversations in a couple of weeks. So I will give you more because a lot of people want to hear you more. It's funny, you talk a lot, but a lot of people may not know where to get you. So we are trying to get him to talk a bit more. And I had wanted to ask you a bit about tourism, but I won't do that today because I know you have interest in so many sectors that people don't know. I'll just read a few comments for him before he goes to let him know that people appreciate him this morning.
Who is this guy? Tell me who this guy is. Wisdom
he's
and
called
knowledge.
He's a medicine man.
He says we need to play this interview every 2 weeks.
Who is this guy?
It's always a pleasure listening to David. He's insightful and generous with his knowledge. I was at the Crystal Ball Africa event and it was very impactful. I wish it was done twice
if
a
you
year.
pay for it, if your sponsor will do twice a year, you know.
This is my first time commenting on the show, Bernard. I'm convinced so far that the president, with what the president has done in the first month, he has achieved better with what he's promised to do in 120 days. I believe the rest will be done, and Ghana will surely be reset in 20 years. You say, okay, Atukwe send that. Okay. I'm truly inspired by your insightful analysis, David Ofosudote, especially on Ghana's economy. Your depth of knowledge and passion for driving positive change is remarkable. I would be honored to learn from you and be mentored by someone of your caliber. Thank you for sharing your expertise and inspiring so many of us to think critically about our nation's future. Do you have a mentorship program, Kukwano asks?
You teach a lot.
I do.
Oh, you have a mentorship program now?
Yes, I do. No, I've had it for a very long time.
But how come you never told me?
It's based purely on request. I do have.
You're a wicked man.
There's been pressure on me to make it formal.
The way that you dip, you have mentorship program, and they take the thing high.
Now you know.
I know he teaches a lot, and students enjoy him. So we'll try and see if we can bring David a bit more. So the next big public event will be the Swedru Conversations, which of course our MD is the global president of Swedru Secondary, and he managed to convince David to speak at that event. I think on the 19th.
So it means it's a big man.
So let's go on.
So we'll hear David again. David, thank you for being on the show. When we come back, we will be talking about Heritage Caravan and read more comments. Stay with us.
This is the Citi Breakfast Conversation.
First impressions matter. Make yours unforgettable with the irresistible scent of Princess Body Mist and Roll-On. Designed for every lady who wants to leave a lasting impression wherever she goes. And for our gentlemen, there is Style Up Perfume and Roll-On. Elevate your presence with a confident, masculine fragrance that keeps you dry and fresh all day. Because your fragrance should speak before you do, use Princess Body Mist and Roll-On and Style Up Perfume and Roll-On. Your daily essentials for smelling good from dawn till dusk. Princess and Style Up. Smell good and feel great together. The GC brand. It's all about you. This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, so what goes into building quality structures? I mean, literally, what goes into it? Wujaf, you don't want to be sitting here somewhere worrying whether or not you did a really good job. It'd be a very simple equation. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, massa, forget it. Don't start cry. Menye, diamond cement has been providing builders, block makers, and construction companies that peace of mind for years. Diamond cement is 42.5 R grade cement. Unbeatable quality made right here in Ghana. And because we have your pocket in mind, we provide 32.5 R grade so that everybody getting on. No long talk, Jack. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, don't start. Locate Diamond Cement Ghana Limited nationwide with factories in Aflao, Takrade, and Buipe, or call 0244-313-368 or 0540-111-978 or 0202-021-175. Diamond Cement, still as hard as a diamond.
Love brewed in the valley. If you're looking to make this Valentine's Day extra special, Peduasi Valley Resort has the perfect packages for you. Indulge in our delightful dinner buffet with a melodic live band on Valentine's Day and take advantage of our special room and spa packages from 10th to 16th February. Treat yourself and your sweetie to a truly memorable experience this season of love. For enquiries, call 0540-125-555 or 0540-125-554. Peduasi Valley Resort. Live life.
High school sweethearts, baby. You know, even then I knew it just.
Are you ready for the road trip of a lifetime? All is set to explore 14 amazing regions of Ghana on the Heritage Caravan 2025. Dive deep into the rich Ghanaian culture through the food, the music, the history, and the captivating traditions. From the 2nd to the 9th of March 2025, you will experience the road trip of a lifetime. Build connections, network, and share unforgettable memories with fellow adventurers.
An opportunity to see Ghana in a more beautiful, and the people, the connection, incredible.
The Heritage Caravan will smoothly drive through the Greater Accra region, Eastern, Volta, Oti, Northeast, Upper East, Northern, Savannah, Bono East, Ahafo, Ashanti, Western North, Western, and Central regions.
The places we visited, the road trip itself was awesome.
Everything was good, yes. Even the Bui Dam was very educational.
Throughout the 8 days on the road, groove to authentic live band music on the wheels with the melodic Inchin Chin Band. The Heritage Caravan 2025 will be fun, educative, refreshing, and most of all, remarkable. Stay updated. Follow all Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM social media handles for updates and join the conversation with the hashtag Heritage Caravan 2025. The Heritage Caravan 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV in partnership with the Ghana Tourism Authority with support from 97.3 Citi FM and proudly sponsored by the National Lottery Authority, Holland Insurance, Omni Basic Bank, Goyle PLC, GB Foods, Standard Water, Apollonia City, and Beaver Beverages.
Terms and conditions apply.
Ghana Post.
Ghana Post.
The most affordable delivery option for food and merchandise from Ghana to everywhere in the world. Connect with us today and see for yourself. Ghana Post. Smart, secure deliveries.
Package, no. In less than 5 days, Ghana Post, they make life they be. Ghana Post will deliver to you wherever you are in the world.
Love brewed in the valley. If you're looking to make this Valentine's Day extra special, Peduasi Valley Resort has the perfect packages for you. Indulge in our delightful dinner buffet with a melodic live band on Valentine's Day and take advantage of our special room and spa packages from 10th to 16th February. Treat yourself and your sweetie to a truly memorable experience this season of love. For enquiries, call 0540-125-555 or 0540-125-554. Peduasi Valley Resort. Live life.
High school sweethearts, baby. You know, even then I knew it just.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi 97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi 973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi 973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
So it's 9:45, Citi Breakfast Show. And let me talk about Heritage Caravan. Before I do that, if you're looking for litigation-free land to get, contact Royal Kingdom Estate, who specialize in land acquisition, construction, design, property management, and more. The properties in prime areas like Accra and Ebri with land starting at 90,000 cedis. We offer flexible payment plans, affordable homes ranging from 2 bedrooms and premium furnished apartments for short rentals. We are at Cantonment opposite Soul Clinic International School. You may call us on 055-755-5905 or email us at royalkingdomestate.com. And when you're buying anything, it has to be the very best. That's why Diamond 42.5 house cement is the best quality cement on the Ghanaian market. And for the past 25 years, we've put smiles on the faces of homeowners, block makers, and supported numerous constructions with our high-quality brand that's rated green by the EPA. Now, you deserve the best. Make Diamond your number one choice for all your building needs. Anyone who wishes to buy Diamond Cement should deal with the company directly. Call 0244-313368. Diamond Cement, still as hard as a diamond. So, Caleb, who do we have in the studio this morning? We have friends
from Goel. Irene Boachidankwa is a corporate affairs officer with Goel. And then there is Phoebe Tibu. She is also with the corporate affairs external.
And they are here because Heritage Caravan is happening. And
yes.
This is Goel. This is your 4th year.
Our 4th year, yes.
Wow.
Year, yes.
You've kept faith with the brand.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
How does Goel feel about being part of the caravan?
Thank you, Bernard. Good morning to you, and good morning to all Ghanaians, and especially to our loyal customers. Goel feels still very proud to share in the Heritage Caravan. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here for the fourth consecutive time. Yes, wow. It's no joke. And this is so because, you see, Goel has a beautiful a heritage story, and because the heritage caravan is all about telling the Ghanaian stories from different parts of the country, we can align ourselves with the heritage caravan story, especially when we can pride ourselves that we have the largest retail outlets in the entire country, over 400 service stations all over the country, and everywhere we visit on the caravan, you can locate a Goyle service station there.
So
yes.
Technically, if you wanted to visit a service station a day, you won't finish in a year.
No, you no,
because you have 400.
Exactly. So you won't finish in a year.
Wow,
no.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Phoebe, welcome.
Thank you very much. Hi, Bernard. Hi,
How you
Caleb.
doing?
Nice to see you.
What do you do? What are you at Goyle?
Corporate Affairs Executive.
Corporate Affairs
with the
Executive.
PR units. Yes.
Wonderful. So you are the unit that drives the partnership for the caravan.
Yeah.
Amazing. Every year somebody from Goyle joins us. Somebody's whispering to me that this year it may be you.
Right.
So you're the one going.
That's right. Yes.
Tell me, what are you expecting? What did they tell you about the caravan? What have they
Well,
said?
I've been seeing videos, hearing a lot about Heritage Caravan. In fact, it's on my bucket list, and today, hooray, I'm here now. Yeah, I've been following keenly previous editions, and I mean, it looks very educative, very fun.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be on board. I'm looking forward to network, but most importantly, to promote Goyle and advertise product. And
Tell her about how the experience is.
Okay, now, are you listening?
Yeah,
yes, 2 years. Listen with all your senses.
Yes.
Let me pull my
Heritage Caravan, Goyle as a sponsor. We don't go there to joke. Somebody say, I didn't come here to play. So we don't go on the caravan to play. It's a lot of work as a sponsor. So yes, a little bit of fun, but a lot of work, a lot, like you said, networking and introducing your product to people, the various products we have, to people you end up networking with. All right, and it's also carried on Channel 1 TV, so you get to get a lot of mileage as a brand. So we don't go on the caravan to play, we go to work. As well.
I mean, with you on board, I know I'm going to get all the.
Oh yes, you have all the support.
Tell her about the experience. Tell her.
Yes, and then
what kind of people will she find on the caravan?
Yes, you are going to meet people from the diaspora. You are going to meet MDs, CEOs, executives like yourself. You are going to meet different people from all walks of life.
Right.
But the interesting thing is that we are all there for one reason: to know our country, to know our heritage, to tour every corner of Ghana, so that even if, I mean, your time here on earth, even if you didn't get to go to any other country to visit anywhere, you know that you have toured your country, and so you can say with hitting your chest that, oh, I know Ghana. I was in Bono Ahafo, I was in Ho, I was in Tamale, I ate this kind of food, I ate TZ, I ate Toto Pakpa. Last year we went to a certain place in the Volta region and we ate that food. Very good.
It's called
Toto Pakpa.
Agoti
Mekpetoi. We went to
No, say it well.
Agoti Mek.
No.
Agoti Me.
Okay.
No, you have correct.
Agoti Mekpetoi. Yes, that was where we were introduced to the Toto Pakpa food. Okro and Sam.
Wait, you're saying it too fast.
I like the name.
Caleb, your Toto Pakpa. It's very nice. It was my first time of eating that food. It's familiar. It's similar to.
It's a very special type of banku and
the stew. Yes, ademe.
What's it made
prepared.
with?
I think okro and some other stuff. That's the stew. It's prepared differently from okro stew here in Accra. So and it's different.
But it's still slimy as okro.
Yes,
It'll be rough.
It be. So on the caravan, we tried different cuisines from different parts of the country. Wherever you find yourself, there's something unique and special about every region we visit. Okay, so as we are on, when we reach a particular region, we are able to introduce Ghanaians to the stations, to the Goyle stations we have in this part of the country.
I have a question for you. Is there Goyle everywhere? Because this year we're starting off in Accra. We'll do a tour of Accra, then we'll go to the Volta region, then we'll drive through the eastern, Ashanti, Bono, to northern, to northeast, to upper east. Can you guarantee that everywhere we go we'll see a Goyle?
16 regions in Ghana, more than enough Goyle service stations to fuel the buses. That's what I can say.
On both eastern and western corridors?
Yes, both eastern and western corridors. Every part of the country there's a Goyle. And you can attest to previous years, you know, that every time we've been on the caravan with the buses, we never run out of fuel, because in every corner you turn, you find a Goyle service station right there.
So Phoebe, what should patrons expect from Goyle? Because the way your colleague is talking means that Goyle also has some things to do for people on the caravan.
I mean, what more can you ask for on a road trip? Good energy with you on the road. I mean, longer mileage, fuel efficiency, smooth ride, everything check. You are good.
Will you share petrol vouchers?
Of course.
Yes.
I mean, with trivia we'll be doing on the bus.
Okay.
You are rest assured.
Are we going to get gold paraphernalia?
Plenty of them.
All right. Because one of the things I noticed is some of the days on the caravan, they say today is Goil Day.
Yeah.
That's true.
So everybody must wear Goil.
Yeah.
Maybe today's another sponsors day. So are you going to assure us of that as well?
Of course.
I see.
Of course.
You make a lot of noise on your Super XP.
Yes.
What's different about Super XP?
Okay, so Super XP is an addition, like we're giving our customers options. Okay. So aside from our 95, which is our premium fuel, we have the Super XP, which is not your regular fuel. We say so because the other stations sell regular fuel. With Super XP, we have additives in there, which separates it from the other fuel. So Super XP separates it from, separates the boys from the men, if you want to say that. Yes. And Super XP is the men when it comes to fuel. Yes. So we introduced options to our customers so that when you go to any of our stations, you get to afford our Super XP 91. You get to also patronize Super XP Run 95 and also our Diesel XP.
Amazing.
Yes, options on the road.
And let me just add, we have this call. When I say Super XP, she will say Ophelia.
Ophelia.
So really,
Ophelia.
Super XP.
Ophelia, huh? Ubefili.
Ophelia. Ubefili.
If you feel it, you will feel it.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's not bad.
Everybody knows me to say
No, one last time.
So Ophelia.
Super XP.
So Ophelia.
Ask Kelly will say, I saw you go.
Yes.
So we are having fun here with two ladies. We have
Irene and Phoebe.
Irene Bachidankwa has been on the caravan for 3 consecutive trips, and she's the corporate affairs officer.
Veteran.
Phoebe Tibu is going to be on the caravan this year for the first time. She's looking forward to it. Goil's one of our key partners for the caravan, and they're saying they're going to give you a very exciting experience across the country. Typically, they fuel our buses for us and they make sure we are well fueled and oiled. Now they're saying they have some nice things to give us on the bus as well. Your color is orange and what?
Orange, black and white.
Orange, black and white. Okay.
Yes.
So we see a lot of orange stuff on the bus.
Right.
Wonderful. So a caravan is happening this year, and I need to tell you that the Heritage Caravan is officially sold out, and it's starting on the 2nd to the 9th of March. And it's basically going to be a road trip of a lifetime in partnership with the Ghana Tourism Authority and sponsored by the National Lottery Authority, GOIL PLC, very important, Hollard Insurance, Omni Basic Bank, GB Food, Standard Water, and Apollonia City. Terms and conditions apply. I'm sure you know if you have already registered. That is going to be one hell of a trip. Ladies, final words for my listeners before you go. Final thoughts for my listeners before you go.
Thank you. So to your listeners, especially to all caravanites, I know some have already packed their luggages. They're just waiting to get on board the bus. Guess what? You are going to have the best of your lifetime being on the caravan. And trust us, when we say that we've got you, we've really got you. God has really got you 24/7 on the caravan, because we are never going to run out of fuel on the buses. 10 left, 10 right, 10 back, 10 front. You'll see Goil.
And Phoebe, any final thoughts?
Well, with me, I'll just say that with Goil on board, you should just be ready to have a swell time. Just
Amazing.
come with your A game, with good energy, and you're good to go.
Wonderful. Thank you, Phoebe. Phoebe Tibu is a corporate affairs executive. You will see her on caravan, and she'll be moving from bus to bus, preaching the gospel of Goil. And Irene Bachidankwa, who's been on a few times here to provide moral support. Irene, thanks for coming. Always good to see you. We'll wrap up with some of your comments. Don't go away.
I mean, guess yet. If I want your respect, so no one no one shall grab him. I see. If I would choose you, we are to see. If I would choose we are here. I see, I shall come a real grown and a fruit.
Definitely Yawazoya. A.B. Crescel, Papa Nono. In the meantime, Robert & Sons Optical Services new branch is now open at Roman Ridge inside the new Allied filling station and opposite the Ebony Washing Bay. We invite you, our cherished clients, to visit us and enjoy amazing discounts at our new Roman Ridge branch. Visit us at our new ultra-modern Roman Ridge branch for comprehensive eye care and unbeatable products and services for children and adults. We're open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call us on 0507 656 876 or 0501 519 111. Terms and conditions apply. Roberts & Sons Optical. Seeing is believing. All right, a few more comments.
Okay, better they forget. This Alaji will not be exposed. And this is reference to our conversation earlier about the containers and the search for Alaji. As security services are part of these cartels, money will change hands and this case will not go anywhere. Mark the space. Good morning, City.
Let's hope
this gold matter is no case. Nigerian forces always use this to lure white people down to defraud them. It's all fake gold and money. A lot of this exists in our system. But just a quick one. So on the Swatre incident, you know, the passing of Francis Yao from Nana Poli, looks like the police have been busy. I think the past week we saw a lot of statements coming from them. But I heard the DCOP leader Adonko, who is the Ghana Football Association's lead person on this, and I'm hoping that thing she said.
What did she say?
She granted an interview on Saturday, and let's just say I'm worried. I'll give you details later, but I'm just putting my worry
in terms of how they resolve
in terms of if that is the FA's conceptualization of how to deal with the matter and how they are going to communicate it.
But I think there's a lot more.
I mean, this is a DCOP speaking. This is a very high-ranking police officer. You understand? For a matter that is still being investigated, that we haven't received official word from the police. The police haven't given us an official update of their investigations to the matter. She gave some insight into what the Ghana Football Association side of the investigations has revealed. So I was thinking, why not wait for the official police one? Because I'm just saying, if a DCOP comes out and says, this is what I saw, based on what I would ask, but she didn't go there as a policewoman. She went there as the Ghana Football Association's director of security, basically.
So there must be a full police.
I was worried. You know, maybe she didn't communicate it well. Maybe when she sits down and thinks about it.
But we haven't heard what she said, so I'm not even sure how.
But I'm just putting it on notice. Okay. You will hear it later.
Okay, I hear you. All right, so well, that's all we have time for today's edition of the show. Thank you for listening. My name is Bernard. I had Caleb Kuda, Godfred Akotoboa for joining me earlier on. Anatufo was here with the newspaper review. City News at 10 with Hawa Idris or Mustafa. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. Coming up at